Welcome back, everybody. Assuming you are a returning viewer, you know who we are. I'm Pierre. He's Chris. This is the Fantasy Endgame. If you're new, welcome. Appreciate you joining us. We're here to talk fantasy football, help answer your questions, address your comments, anything you got. That's what we're here for. So we'll get to as many as we can and help you win by helping setting winning lineups, making smart trade decisions, maybe waiver wire pickups, whatever you got. We'll do our best. So we're going to talk about a little bit about tonight's game. You know that week 6 is here. Got the Chiefs, got the Broncos. Be interesting to see exactly what happens with that Denver offense. You really never know what to expect with that team. What do you expect from the Broncos? A thrashing or a shootout?
Neither. I expect a Chiefs win, but not a thrashing. I feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like this Chiefs offense right now is capable of thrashing even this Broncos defense. I feel like they'll win fairly comfortably. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say like it's going to be a close win, but like I don't think it's going to be some just absolute, one-sided, completely lopsided game. But I do expect the Chiefs to win fairly comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that this Chiefs offense this season hasn't been like the Chiefs offense of past years. I did see, I guess, I don't know, we would call it a stat, but a nugget of information. They're saying that Pat Mahomes in his career has never faced like the absolute worst defense in the league at any time. This is clearly the worst defense in the league on both counts. But again, like, if Denver doesn't score a whole lot, maybe the Chiefs don't have to score a lot in return. They're able to run the ball. The clock, moves. Yeah, it's not like it's a shoo-in that the Chiefs are scoring 40 plus. Like, no, I don't think that's a given. A lot of people will assume that. Like everyone, the obvious chalk pick. Everyone, Isaiah Pacheco, he's going to go for 500 yards. Maybe not. Maybe not. He's not quite. The next coming of Barry Sanders. He's good, but yeah, we'll see. I think it's gonna be like 27-10 kind of thing. Not like a beat down, but
right.
The Chiefs defense is also better than it has been. So I don't know. It's sad we can't count on the Broncos to do anything. And Jerry Jeudy is in the news sort of because now it's, I guess, not going to officially confirmed. I don't know. That basically they're like, yeah, they want to trade him. Do you think he gets traded?
I mean, again, we talked about this a little bit. I think it was yesterday. The trade deadline in the NFL usually disappoints. But Jeudy does seem like a guy who could get traded because, like, I think, is he on the last year of his deal? Maybe he has one more year on his deal. I'm not sure, but he could be on the last year of his deal. He's not a guy that's like, I don't think it's not like, hey, we're trying to trade, Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the game. We want 3 firsts or whatever craziness there. It's Jerry Jeudy. Like, it's not going to take a king's ransom. Some team wants Jerry Jeudy. So I could certainly see him getting moved, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, the NFL trade deadline just is, I've learned over the years, you get all excited, like, okay, the trade deadline is Tuesday. Oh, let's go. And then it comes and goes, and it's like, oh, okay, everybody pretty much stayed still.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk, and then it's much ado about nothing.
Yeah,
Jeudy makes sense, right? It makes sense for a guy like him to get moved in his situation. Yep. I wonder if Carolina's search for a number one receiver lands on him. Like, we could make him our number one receiver. I mean,
he does make sense for Carolina. He's not going to,
and he's still young.
Yeah, he's not going to command a huge haul. Right. Like, you're not going to have to give up your, well, they don't have their first round pick, but and he's still young, so he could, he could help your rookie quarterback. He definitely makes sense for Carolina for sure.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's just too bad. Carolina, I mean, they really do need a legit, like, number one guy, like a DJ Moore type, somebody like that. Like, it's too bad they don't have a guy like that. All right. So we'll get to our comments and everything you got first. Also, before the game starts, got to remind you that this is the time. You only have about 2 hours. If you have not taken advantage of the special on Underdog, Pat Mahomes just needs 1 yard. Go higher on that. Trust me on this. Higher than half a total yard. This is a new customer special. If you have not signed up for Underdog, if you haven't tried it, if you've been waiting for I don't know what reason, do it now because you can take advantage of that special for this limited time. And also, 100% deposit match. That's always good if you use promo code Endgame, but it has been extended now to $500, and that is not going to last forever. And know this. So if you're new to Underdog, use code Endgame, and then you get that deposit match, you get that free pick, and everybody can enter 100K Sunday, and that is a chance to win $10,000 because 10 different people will win. So definitely worth it. You just take that pick, and again, you don't have to get it right. Just use it. Just use that pick, and then you're automatically entered. So take advantage of all those while they are in effect. And you still got a little bit of time to get that Mahomes pick in. So there you go. Just make sure you use that promo code Endgame to take advantage. So you did mention something about trading a guy like Justin Jefferson. This is just the most appropriate way to start, not just because this is our first comment, but this is pretty much a summary of this week's trade questions. Achane and JJ, straight up.
I think I got to still go JJ. I mean, look, what Achane was doing was phenomenal, but we can't. I don't want to read too much into like what a guy did for basically 2 games. Was it 2 games?
Basically.
Versus a guy who's done it pretty much for 3+ years. You know what I mean? Like when a guy's done it for 3+ years, you can feel pretty good he's going to do it again. When a guy's done it for 2 games, I've seen many players, and I'm not saying this is going to be Achane, but I've seen many players be phenomenal for 2, 3, 4 games in a row. Look like they're just going to destroy the NFL, and then we really never hear from them. We barely hear from them, the rest of their career. Not saying that's going to be Achane, but I'm just saying, like, we know Justin Jefferson, what he is. Just give me the sure thing with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, and it's different too, just generally speaking, not just running back receiver, but you have a guy who has thrived on insane efficiency. I don't even know if you can call it efficiency, just insane. I don't know what you call what Achane's been doing, but just huge play after huge play versus a guy who thrives on volume. You can depend a lot more on the volume than those big burst plays. So yeah, it's got to be JJ. All right, first super chat is from Other John. Welcome back. PPR, pick 3, Nico, London, Cooper, and Palmer.
Well, I mean, Cooper would be number 1 for me. Deshaun Watson's still not practicing today. I don't know what is going on with Deshaun Watson.
I don't even know if it's news. There really isn't news. I think I was going to say this for the weekend for us to talk about if we know something. I'm legit worried about Deshaun Watson. But anyways, what does that mean? I mean, is Cooper a guy if Watson doesn't play and it's PJ Walker, are you still okay with Cooper?
I mean, that's the debate here. Like, do I roll with Palmer over Cooper, or do I still just roll with Cooper? Like, I think if it was Watson, I would easily pick the first 3 guys here and just bench Palmer. But I mean, with PJ Walker, like, oh man.
Well, and it's not just PJ Walker, but they're playing the 49ers.
Yeah.
That's the concern.
I mean, if it's PJ Walker, I probably do have to bench Cooper for Palmer, sadly. So just keep an eye on Other John. Just, maybe come back on, join us on Saturday or Sunday if you can, when we should have much more information about Deshaun by then. Because if it's PJ Walker against the 49ers, I'll probably just roll with Palmer over Cooper.
Yeah, I'm going to agree there. I'd keep Cooper out of your lineup for now until we get clarity. Sal, what's up, Sal? Half PPR got Tua, Lamb, Flowers, Jacobs, White, Kelsey, Lockett, and MT. Would you gamble with Spears over White or Thomas?
No, I don't think so. This doesn't feel like the game where like, they're getting blown out and they need to they're just in pass happy mode. It feels a little, I mean, maybe over Michael Thomas, because Michael Thomas just doesn't really have a ceiling. But even then, at least Michael Thomas does have a floor. Like Spears, some weeks doesn't even give you a floor. If like that week where Derrick Henry, like a couple of weeks ago, where Derrick Henry went for 120 and a touchdown, Tyjae Spears did very little in that game. So probably not. This feels like too big of a gamble.
Yeah, I think White's fine. Again, he's getting all the touches in that backfield.
Right.
It's not a great matchup, but still, I mean, I just can't feel like Spears is a guy I'm going to start if I'm not desperate. I don't think Rachaad White and Michael Thomas is like desperate.
Right.
Juice 420, welcome back. 5-0, very nice. You think Calvin Ridley is going to boom? Well, yeah. Didn't you had him as a boom, didn't you?
Yes. Well, he boomed. He boomed week 1 against the Colts. Why wouldn't he boom now week 2 at home against the Colts? I mean, sorry, week 6 again at home against the Colts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, T-Law over Stafford. I think we kind of answered this yesterday, right?
Yeah, I'm still going Trevor Lawrence. I do like Stafford this week, but Trevor Lawrence at home against the Colts, I mean, that doesn't scare me off Trevor Lawrence. I'm still going Lawrence.
I mean, I think this could be really close.
Yes.
Between those two, but I also think they're going to put up similar numbers, and I'll go with T-Law. I think the higher upside there. Mike Sorrento. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. 12-team PPR needs a flex. We got Rachaad White. We got Amari. We got Terry, Rashawn, or Rashee Rice. So we need to decide soon.
I mean, again, I'll just say this. If Deshaun Watson plays, it's definitely Amari Cooper for me. Like, way above these guys. But if it's PJ Walker, oh, man. But here's the thing.
Well, I'm just going to say Rashawn Johnson, because he was concussion protocol. I don't know today. Did we get any update on him?
I've not seen an update on him yet.
I mean, I don't remember offhand seeing anything, but I don't still think I would put him over all these guys. I think he's still questionable.
Let's see if we have an update on him.
He didn't practice today.
He did not practice today. Still in the concussion protocol.
Yeah, so you can scratch him off. Okay, so he needs to know about Rashee Rice tonight. You can't wait on Cooper for that. Would you put Rice over those other guys?
That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't think I could put Rashee Rice. I know McLaurin's been. I mean, see, I just sometimes I'm like, okay, am I just going off a name value here? Like, I see the name Terry McLaurin and I need to say the name Rashee Rice, and I'm like, I can't put Rashee Rice in over Terry McLaurin. But I probably can't put Rashee Rice in over Terry McLaurin anyways. I mean, it's not like Rashee Rice is playing a bunch of snaps and getting a ton of targets.
Yeah.
He's scoring, but if he didn't score last week, he would have given you very, very little outside of that touchdown. I know you say, well, it's the Broncos. Yeah, it's the Broncos, but they're historically bad against the run. I do think Isaiah Pacheco could run for 500 yards tonight. Like, I do think it could be. I do think
he might.
I do think it could be a game where, like you said, it's 27-10, but like Mahomes only has one of the touchdowns, and Pacheco has 3 of them. Because, I mean, it's absurd. Like, I saw a stat today. The Broncos are allowing an average of 40 PPR points per game to running backs. That's the average, and that includes week 1 when Josh Jacobs did nothing. By the way. Remember, Josh Jacobs did nothing in week 1 against his defense, and they're still allowing 40 points per game to running backs on average. I think I'm still going Terry. I'll say if Deshaun Watson plays, it's Amari. If not, I'm going Terry.
Yeah, I like what you said. Exactly makes sense. Rashee Rice, I liked him last week because he was playing the Vikings. I still like him this week. He's playing Denver, but like you said, he's one of the leaders in targets per route run, but here's the problem. He doesn't run that many routes because just that's how the Chiefs are. All right. They have actually Kadarius Toney also was one of the leaders in targets per route run. because they both run about 20 routes and that's it. You know, they're not out there that much. So, anyways, yeah, I think I'm waiting for Amari, and then if not, I'm fine going with McLaurin. That's what I would do. All right, Bobby Brook, welcome back from
What's up,
England.
Bobby?
All right, got Deshaun. Okay, in love. Okay, should you drop Deshaun or Dylan for Ritter? I mean, you might have to.
I mean, but Ritter's your best option. I mean, I guess I would drop Love.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You can
Don't
drop
drop
Love because he's
Watson
on a
because
bye.
what if Watson practices fully tomorrow and then he's like, yeah, I'm playing, and then you're like, oh well, now I got to roll with Desmond Ritter because I drop Love. He's on a bye. He just came off a terrible game. I doubt anybody is like going to see him on the waiver wire and get super excited. Just drop Love, pick up Ritter, hope Watson plays.
That's exactly us. So drop Love because who's picking him up when he's on bye and coming off a terrible game? So
Nobody.
I would do this. Look, here's what I'm gonna say though. I'm gonna just start Ritter. And I'm not gonna even hold out for Watson because Watson has a bum shoulder. Doesn't seem too into playing these days. Playing the 49ers, I think I'm okay with Ritter against Washington, who's been pretty bad against quarterbacks. I think I'm fine just taking what he gives me instead of risking the disaster, start from Watson. So pick up Ritter. I would stream him, but if you want to hold out for Watson, I mean, who knows? Things could change. Bill Ciortino, Lost Connor, needs to nail the flex. All right, Hurts, Madison, Stevenson, Diggs, Devontae, Goddard, Lockett, Rasheed. On the benches, Njoku, McLaughlin, Reynolds, Spears, Atwell.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's going to be hard to nail this bench. These are dart throws, right? These are not guys where you ever feel comfortable having them in your lineup. I'm torn between Atwell and Spears.
So I'm trying to see because Devontae. I think if I'm okay, so you're going quarterback, running back, receiver, Goddard, tight end, and then he got Lockett, Rice. So I'm assuming those are his two flexes right now. And so I think he's asking, would you switch anything on the bench for him?
All right, well, that makes me feel better. If that's the case, no, I'm not putting any of these guys in over the lineup you have.
Yeah, keeping Rice.
Yes, keeping Rice. I'd rather just gamble on Rice against the Broncos scoring a touchdown. Like, these are all dart throws. So even Rice is a dart throw, but at least he's a dart throw on the Chiefs playing the Broncos.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't put Reynolds over him. I don't think I would put Tutu. I guess if I had to pick somebody off the bench, it would be Tutu, but I would prefer keep Rice in there. I mean, I really don't want to have Stevenson in my lineup, but I don't think I'm putting McLaughlin or Spears over him this week, right?
No, Stevenson at least does get the Raiders. Look, A.J. Dillon just went for like 60-something yards and a touchdown against the Raiders, so maybe.
Speaking of, it's appropriate you mentioned that name because Bobby had a follow-up because he asked, should I drop Dillon? He says he's always had a soft spot for A.J. Dillon. I mean, I don't think you have to drop him because I don't think anybody's
No, you can drop Love. You can drop Love. He just had a 3-interception game with no touchdowns. He's on bye. You can drop Love very easily. Very easily.
But it's not going to be easy for him because he's a Packers fan. So.
Well, but after I'm surprised he didn't rage. I'm surprised he didn't rage drop him after he basically lost one of the most winnable games of the year for you guys.
This is true. Hey, Bobby seems too nice to rage drop.
True.
Steven had no problem doing it. It's just funny, the whole A.J. Dillon thing. Did you see the thing about him like playing Farming Simulator?
Yeah, what was that? Playing some farming game?
Okay, we don't have time for this, but I will say at some point I may have bought a copy of Farming Simulator 14 because my daughter years ago, she was going to do a YouTube gaming channel. And so we were buying it just to make fun of it because it was so ridiculous. It's fun in an ironic way.
All right.
I don't know if AJ Dillon sees it as that way. I think he actually legitimately enjoys doing that. Anyways, Trone Force, would you trade James Cook and Keontae Ingram?
Yes.
A name that had not heard in a long time until yesterday. For Debo or Ayuk?
I mean, definitely for Ayuk, like no brainer for Ayuk. Debo's a little closer for me just because I do like James Cook. You have Chase, Adams, Swift, Monty, Andrews, Sanders, Spears, Hunt, Jameson. I mean, you kind of need running back and wide receiver here. Like your top end players are good. Your depth is a little lacking for both. Although your wide receiver depth is really lacking because all I see is Rashee Rice and Jameson Williams.
Yeah. I think you got to do this.
Yeah,
Well,
I think you got to do this. I prefer Ayuk if possible, but Debo's an okay fallback.
yeah, I mean, Cook's not your RB2. Looks like he's your third running back, basically. And Ayuk, you can slot right in there. I'm definitely doing this for either guy. I would, of course, try to get Ayuk first. And then even if it's Debo, sure, I'm fine with Debo. Abamanu. All right, Ma. He's got two questions. Let's first one here. Full PPR. Pick for flex. We got Rashad White, Rashee Rice, London, Palmer, Pitts, Goddard. And now he does say he has Logan Thomas at tight end. So would you switch that out for one of those other tight ends?
I mean, oh man. I could certainly see a huge Goddard letdown game this week. But could I really put Logan Thomas in over him? Boy.
Like on paper, statistically, this year, 5-game sample, Logan Thomas has the best matchup, but
Right.
Dallas Goddard has Jalen Hurts and Logan Thomas somehow.
And
I
he's
know.
Dallas Goddard, not Logan Thomas.
Dallas Goddard.
Like nobody really cared about Logan Thomas for 4 weeks, and then he has one game where he gets like 11 targets, and suddenly Logan Thomas is like,
yeah,
everybody's favorite tight end.
When they were down by like 24 points in the first half and threw the ball, what was it, 55 straight times or something insane?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you got to go Goddard.
Yeah, I think you got to go Goddard at tight end. As for flex, White. Well, actually, just give me London. Give me London here at flex. Give me London. I feel pretty good about him this week. Give me London.
Yeah, I think I have to pick London. I actually picked him as a boom because I feel good. Like I think Rice is fine, but I like London better. Palmer, tough matchup, so not this week. And Rashad White, not in PPR. And then his other one, long-term stash. Who is your preferred running back? Akers, Mitchell, Kendre, Rivers, Gibson, Hunt, Dowdle, Carter, CEH, Bigsby, or Samir White?
I think right now I'm going with Akers. He actually got some decent usage last week. Let me look it up. He got okay, 5 carries, 2 catches. Okay, it's not like crazy, but I think I saw something where like their snaps. I think I saw something where their snaps were getting pretty close. Mitchell, he needs a CMC injury. Kendrick probably needs a Kamara injury, plus Jamal coming back. Rivers needs a Kyron injury. Gibson needs, I don't know, the Commanders to get blown out every game. Kareem Hunt needs to retire. Dowdle needs a Pollard injury. Carter, whatever. CEH. I mean, Bigsby again needs an injury. Zamir White needs an injury. Akers is the one that has the clearest path here right now. So give me Akers.
I'm glad you said that first, so I can say yes, it's Akers. Mitchell should be, but dude is always hurt. We're like, oh well, if CMC gets hurt, it doesn't matter. He's always hurt. Like he's the one who needs a handcuff. So it's Akers. I think it's got to be Akers. The only other guy I would even consider possibly stashing would be Miller. I mean, maybe Rivers. I guess Rivers too. But even Washington was getting blown out last week, and Gibson still didn't do anything. And then Hunt, like you said, Dowdle maybe, but no, the other guys aren't even worth stashing. All right, Oscar Melendez. Here is a critical question, and several people also wanting the answer to this. Higgins, questionable. I saw something today about like he's leaning towards playing, something vague like that. So if Higgins plays, are you playing Higgins? And if he doesn't, or even if he does, would you go Palmer or Rashee Rice?
Yeah. So the update on Higgins said he was doing everything everyone else was doing at practice today, but they listed him as limited. But he said he's doing everything. And then he said he could play without a little protective thing. For these guys, I'm just going Higgins. I'll risk it with Higgins. I mean, look, Rashee Rice, sure, maybe. Palmer, not a great matchup this week against the Cowboys. I can't bench Higgins if he plays for these guys. Last week I would have said one of these guys because I'm like, there's no way. But now, yeah, it sounds like he's okay. I'm going Higgins still.
Yeah, I really don't want to play T. Higgins this week. And I do have him in that one league where I traded him for him from you, and yes. He didn't play. It always depends on your options. Palmer, I wish I could say Palmer, but yeah, this week, probably not a good idea. I mean, maybe if he was playing like his own defense, the Chargers, sure, but he's not. And Rice, I think, and this is the thing, you need to know now because Rashee Rice, he's got to be in your lineup for the next, hour and a half. If Higgins is going to play and they're saying positive things, I guess go Higgins because Rashee Rice's upside is like a touchdown with 30, 40 yards, right?
Exactly.
So I guess if Higgins is playing, he can play. Yeah. Cinco 2 times.
Okay.
I'm guessing there's more to this, or are you asking who are the top 10 defenses this week? Is that the question?
Oh man, that's a tough question.
Okay, I don't see anything else. Okay, let me dig into the rankings real quick. And I haven't actually really spent time on my defensive rankings yet, but let's say the best defenses this week. Well, Deshaun Watson doesn't play. It's definitely the 49ers.
Yeah, but the 49ers aren't just sitting on waivers, I assume.
Yeah, so that's why it's a weird question. Okay, I'll just say quickly, 10 defenses. Buffalo Bills get the Giants. The Eagles, of course, they play the Jets. Ravens against Tennessee. The Chiefs tonight because they play Denver. Probably the Dolphins because they play Carolina. The Lions playing Tampa Bay. Probably the Jags are up there because they get to play Gardner Minshew and the Colts. And then maybe the Rams because they play Cardinals. All right. Sorry, if you have a more specific question or something, then you can throw it in there. But that's all I can think that you're asking. Okay, but how about this? Mary Jo, Baltimore or Buffalo on defense?
I think it's got to be Buffalo. They get the Giants, and they might get the Giants without Daniel Jones because he has not practiced yet this week with that neck injury. Who's their backup? Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, give me Buffalo. Give me Buffalo either against a banged up Daniel Jones, which already right there, that's a great matchup, or Tyrod Taylor. Either one. Give me Buffalo.
Yeah, it's got to be Buffalo. I will say you got to be a little worried about Buffalo's defense long term because they lost their best corner, Tre'Davious White, for the season. And now they lost their best linebacker in Matt Milano. Those are big injuries. So even then, still, I think a JV defense could get a few sacks on Daniel Jones and the Giants this week. All right. So what do you think about this? Talk about the game tonight. Is there a tank job underway? Because Sean, that way that's like they're out on Russell Wilson. They'd be like, yeah, like look what you did this year, and then he can get his guy at quarterback.
But the thing is, like, they won't even have the number 1 pick, will they? I mean, I guess they could, but like right now, the Panthers, I mean, because they've actually won a game. Remember, here's the thing: if he was tanking for Caleb, would they have come back against the Bears?
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense, would it?
Yeah, they would have, because the Bears were smoking them. Like they could have just thrown in the towel and been like, "Oh well." I don't think he's tanking. I just think they're a bad football team. They're just a bad football team. Like, you know what I mean? They're just bad. Like Russell Wilson, the old Russ is not coming back. He's not coming back. Their wide receivers are not very good. Their run game is not very good. Their defense is not very. I mean, it's hard to win. It's hard to win like that. It's a hard recipe for wins.
It's a bad recipe.
Yes.
Yeah, look, why they're losing is not because of Sean Payton. I guarantee he doesn't want to lose as much as he would like to have Caleb Williams. It's because their defense is the worst in the NFL, and that's mainly, it's not even a lack of talent. I really don't think it is. I think it's a lot of the coordinating going on that side. Well, let's not get down that rabbit hole. Danny G. What's up, Danny? Zach Moss
Real quick, by the way, we just got some breaking news. Watson is indeed out for week 6. So, man.
Despite being medically cleared last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. That's right, because they had a bye.
Yes.
Yeah. Something rotten in Cleveland. Okay. What about this? Moss or GT?
Oh boy, toughest question of the week, without a doubt. I did see something today that there is like normalcy for Jonathan Taylor. Which hand is that? I'm looking at myself. So okay, there's normalcy for Jonathan Taylor, and that the Colts plan on ramping up his workload. What does that mean? 50%?
Ramping it up to 8 carries this week.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this is the
I know. It's painful.
Because it's like if you it's just a full-on guess. It's a full-on guess how these guys are going to get used, right? It's just a full-on guess. Like, do we see 50-50? Do we see more Moss, less JT? Do we see more JT, less Moss? I don't know. I really don't know. So
I think, I mean, if it were me, I think this week I'm keeping Moss in there.
There you go. Keep Moss.
But it's truly a guessing game. I mean, honestly, we don't know. I mean, it's one of those times we just say, hey, honestly, we don't know, because we don't. Well, I do know that Double O has a super chat. Thank you, Double O.
Okay.
Pick 3 receivers and a flex. Ridley, Dotson, Michael Wilson, Mims, Trey Palmer. All right. Michael Gallup, Moss, Spears, Foreman, and Mingo.
Well, I can confidently say Ridley.
Definitely.
Now we need 3 more. Oh man.
We need specifically 2 receivers from that group of Dotson, Wilson, Mims, Trey Palmer, not Josh Palmer, and Michael Gallup.
Call me crazy, but I'm going Gallup. It's the Chargers. They can give up big plays. He's somewhat involved. He's getting target. Brandon Cooks just not cutting it as a number 2. I'll go Gallup. Man.
I mean, it should be Dotson, but it also isn't Dotson because he's not getting
targets. It's not Mims tonight against the Chiefs. I mean, look, maybe Mims hits a home run or returns a punt, but maybe he also fumbles a punt and gets you negative points. You know what I mean? Too risky. I guess Wilson would be my 3rd.
I think that's reasonable. Ridley.
And then I'll say this. I'll say this for the flex. If Rashawn Johnson is out, I'm flexing Foreman.
Yes, me too.
Because he should get pretty much the vast majority of the touches in that backfield. If Rashawn Johnson clears, and now it's like, we don't know, maybe it'll be Johnson. Because remember, it's just a concussion. I mean, I say just a concussion, but it's not like he's dealing with an ankle or a knee. Like if he clears concussion, he should be good to go. Then maybe I go Moss. But I'm guessing Rashawn won't play, so you'll probably roll with Foreman.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough to pick a 3rd receiver. So I'm going to roll with one of those running backs. So exactly what you said. If Johnson isn't playing, it's Foreman for sure. If he is, then I guess go Moss. But Ridley, Wilson, I feel at least he's getting targets. and then Gallup just for the home run play. I mean, it should be Dotson, but it can't be Dotson.
Can't be Dotson.
Sadly.
Sad.
All right, next up, we got Tyrell Hackshaw, Barkley or Mixon.
Well, Barkley, another guy we don't know. He's been limited all week. I mean, obviously the decision could be made for you, but I might just go Mixon anyways this week, to be honest. Barkley coming off an ankle injury, potentially with Tyrod Taylor against the Bills with that decimated offensive line. Mixon not in a bad spot this week against the Seahawks. I might just go Mixon either way this week.
Yeah, right now Barkley is kind of iffy, and you think he'll play, but also you don't know for sure, and then you don't know how effective he'll be. There is also always chance for a performance hit upon return because it's been a multi-week injury, and the fact that the Giants are terrible. So maybe just go Mixon, and then flex. I think you got to flex Addison.
Yeah, you got to flex Addison. I mean, look, he may let us all down this week, but we got to find out. It's a great matchup. You should get tons of targets. You got to go Addison.
Jay Swole. Trade Spears for London.
I mean, if you really need wide receiver help, I think you can do this. I mean, look, Spears is one of my favorite running back bench stashes, but he's just a bench stash.
Right.
Drake London is a guy like not one of my favorite starts every week, but he's a guy you can start. So if you really need wide receiver help, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, not knowing your roster, I would say I prefer London. I mean, you shouldn't need Spears to start. Hopefully, London is startable. Not every week, but this week he's definitely startable. So I'd rather have London. And then Pittman or White in the flex.
I guess you still got to go Pittman. He'll get the targets from Minshew. Rachaad White just in a tough spot. I think Rachaad White's fine, like as an RB2. You're like, hey, I don't have a better RB2 option. White's fine, but he's not a guy like I want to put in my lineup if I don't have to. So go with Pittman.
Yeah,
assuming it's PPR, of course. Oh, that might not even matter to be honest. It might not even matter to be honest. Just go with Pittman.
Yeah, with White this week, it might not matter. Detroit's run defense has been really good, but like you said, that one game where Minshew played most of the game, Pittman was still fine.
Yeah, I think Pittman will be fine.
He's not the worst backup quarterback in the league. Bomber Boy traded CD and Monty for Ayuk and Barkley. What do you think?
I think long term it'll probably be okay. I still think, I still got to rank Barkley ahead of Montgomery long term. I know it's like right now people are like, oh, Monty over Barkley because Monty's scoring all these touchdowns and Barkley's not even playing. But like, do we really expect like that's going to continue all year? We know, Barkley comes back, has one good game. Everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Barkley's really good. But I do still prefer CD over Ayuk. So I think it's fair.
Yeah, this seems pretty even. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty even. I don't know. I mean, this is going to come down to what CeeDee Lamb do we get rest of the season. A lot of talk about him. What was it? Richard Sherman saying he doesn't think he's a true number one receiver. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know where that came from or what he's just giving his honest opinion. I mean, I think that's ridiculous, but
it's funny. I didn't hear anybody saying this the last couple of years when CeeDee Lamb was just tearing it up. And now he has like a couple bad games and he's not like, it's crazy. Like how even guys like Richard Sherman can't resist recency bias. It's just like it's ingrained in humans. It's just ingrained in us that we just think whatever's happened recently is what's real. And you know what I mean? There can't be weekly outliers for 2 weeks. Nope, impossible. Yeah, no one was. I'm sure you asked Richard Sherman last year, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, CeeDee Lamb, one of the 5 best wide receivers in the NFL." Now he's not even a wide receiver one.
I mean, these guys are on TV just to get react. I mean, they need something to talk about, don't they? What does everyone talk about? How bad the Cowboys were last week. So, all right, and then we have Yuya Oda. Welcome. Needs help in a standard league. Got Ayuk. I'm guessing that's Thielen. Supposed to be Thielen, Pollard, Swift, Kelsey Cook, Addison Wilson, White, Collins. A standard league. I guess let's cobble together a lineup here. Obviously, Hurts is your quarterback.
Yeah, Hurts is your quarterback. Pollard, Swift at running back.
Kelsey at tight end.
Yeah, definitely Kelsey at tight end. Yeah, I guess I go Ayuk, Thielen. I mean, yeah, Thielen should still be okay in standard this week. I could see a path for Addison outscoring him in standard if Thielen doesn't catch a touchdown and Addison does. And then, yeah, I'd probably go in standard. I want to flex a running back if possible. So I'm assuming James Cook is your flex. So I'd probably leave it the way you have it, but Addison Thielen would be a tough decision for me in standard.
But Thielen has gotten in the end zone a couple times, and it's a good chance this week. Yeah. Addison, of course, has that upside as well, but I think you got to keep Thielen in there. Yeah, I do like James Cook this week. So since it is standard, I will go Cook as well. All right, let's do a couple of non-super chats. We're not too far behind yet. Give me the loot. Goodness gracious, the papers. Where the cash at? Where the stash at? I don't know who to start. Well, half PPR needs to bench two. Kamara, Kyron, Pacheco, Swift, and Barkley. Needs to bench two.
Well, I'm going to bench Barkley. I just am. Just because, not that I'm like completely out on Barkley this week if he plays, but he's still limited in practice. You have really good options here. Don't risk it with Barkley, especially if Tyrod Taylor plays and this Giants team just gets destroyed, right? And the offense does nothing. I need to play Pacheco. I need to play Swift. Like, I have to play those guys. Pacheco against the Broncos could legit go nuts. Could go nuts tonight. It's close for me between Kyron and Kamara. Two guys, not as good as people think they are, who get all the touches, play all the snaps. Both in good matchups.
I think, this is half PPR, not full. That might ding Kamara a little bit more, but also I think the matchup favors Kyron a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, Kamara only had 2 catches last week. I know we think of him as a pass. He wasn't like, he's not been a monster pass catching back the last couple of years. You take, again, that 13-game catch week, his first game back, Derek Carr couldn't throw the football. He couldn't even throw it. He had to dump it off 13 times because he couldn't throw. I don't know if either of these guys, like, Kyron might be the guy who gets more targets these days. But, yeah, I like Kyron's matchup. I'd probably go Kyron. So I'm going to sit Barkley and Kamara. Sit the 2 old dudes. Those guys.
Yeah, in this case, you don't need to take the risk with Barkley.
Yeah.
Sir Boomer, who's also one of our members, got Bijan, London, and Pitts. That must feel really good. Should add Ritter just to make it a full Falcons stack upon stack.
Bench Tua. Yeah, go for the double stack, double L.
Stack those L's.
Stack those L's.
Hey, if you're in a position like, well, look, that member from before, Bobby, he's got to pick up Desmond Ridder now because Watson not playing loves him by.
They're both out. They're both out. So now you have to.
Got to start.
But when you have the choice to play Tua and Devonta Smith, I mean, you just play Tua and Devonta Smith.
Clearly. All right, let's go with John B. Geno or Brock?
I think I got to go Geno. Should be a good game for Geno. Like, Brock can always do what Brock does because he's got the weapons, right? He can just – but it's a tough matchup against Cleveland. I'll just go with Geno.
I'm going Geno too. And then Joe Castles, Moss or Rice?
Well, here I'll go Rice. I'll just gamble on the upside of Rice, scoring a touchdown. in a good matchup. Again, Moss is such a guessing game this week because we know at some point in the not too distant future we're gonna see significantly more Jonathan Taylor than Zach Moss. Like that, I feel very confident about. They didn't pay Jonathan Taylor $42 million to be Zach Moss's backup. We're going to see significantly more Jonathan Taylor than Zach Moss, and it's going to be pretty soon here. Will it be week 6? That I don't know, but you don't want to risk it. What if it is? So just go at Rice.
Yeah, JT, the highest paid change of pace back in the league. Just like Jahmyr Gibbs, the highest drafted change of pace back ever.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. All right, Benny Black. It's a 2 QB league. You got Burrow and Howell, Eckler, Walker, Hollywood, Higgins, Ertz. Need to flex. Moss, Ford, Spears, London, or Rice.
Well, here I'm going London. I actually feel pretty good about London this week. All these other options are just like dart throws. Give me London. Give me London.
Yep. I like London out of this group. Go with him. And then, would you trade JJ for Olave or Devontae Smith?
I don't think so. Here. This is not quite enough. If you got somebody else with them, like if they were able to throw in a decent RB2, like a James Cook, somebody who people aren't that high on, somebody like that, and you needed James Cook, let's say, which do you? You got Eckler, Walker. You kind of do because you don't really have, well, you got Ford. He's all right. Maybe not this week, but you don't need him this week. Yeah, this isn't enough. It's not enough for me.
Now, most JJ trades we're seeing are 2-for-1s. Even missing hypothetically 4 weeks. Unless it's a stud running back, it's a trade that somehow helps both teams. I think you can get more for him. Christopher E. In a super flex league, would you trade Jalen Hurts and CeeDee Lamb to get Justin Fields and Jamar Chase?
Yes, I would. I like CeeDee Lamb rest of the season, but Jamar Chase, it's him and Tyreek Hill for the next 4 weeks, and Cooper Kupp, I guess, and then it's him, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, and JJ after that, basically for the 4 best wide receivers in fantasy. And look, Fields has been great the last 2 weeks. He gets good matchups coming up. Maybe he's turned the corner. So yeah, give me the Chase side.
Yeah, it has Dak and Love, two kind of underachieving quarterbacks. I think you'll be okay with Dak, but yeah, Fields looks, I don't even say back because he's doing things he didn't do last year and he's not doing things he did do last year. So it's just weird, but he's been really good 2 weeks in a row for fantasy. So yeah, why not get Chase? Eric Sanchez also has Hurts. We got Walker and Laporta. Oh, he's saying, okay, so here's another Hurts field trade, which is interesting. So did you already do this deal? It sounds like you already did it. He said he got Hurts, Walker, and Laporta for Fields, DJ Kelsey. I think I remember this from the other day.
Yeah, but I don't.
Do you like it?
No.
You got Hurts instead of Fields now. Got Laporta instead of Kelsey. Walker, DJ. No, actually, if that's DJ Moore, I think I like the Fields DJ Moore side.
Yeah, me too. Not to mention Sam Laporta. This is always it's always worrisome. He popped up today on the injury report with a calf injury.
Yep.
It's always worrisome when guys, like, it'd be one thing if he had if it was like yesterday the calf, today the calf, and then tomorrow full. Look, if he's full tomorrow, he'd feel good, but you gotta be a little worried. But even if he was healthy, you still gotta prefer Kelsey.
Right.
And
yeah, he's not there yet.
Yeah, I would have preferred the Kelsey side, to be honest. I don't think it's terrible for you. And if you were desperate for a running back, Walker is a good running back. So I don't think it's like completely one-sided, but I would have slightly preferred the Kelsey side.
Yeah, I would prefer that side. Yeah, if you really need a running back, you got yourself a running back. It's fine. Look, Hurts. You're never going to be sad getting Hurts. A lot of this might depend on how Fields does, right? Both these trades, it's really going to depend what Fields does the rest of the season. So it's fine. Tyrell wants to know Lawrence or Stafford.
Yeah, it's close, but I'm going Lawrence at home against the Colts.
Yeah, I think both these guys are solid low-end QB1 this week. Stafford, pretty good matchup against the Cards. Got cut back. Lawrence, Pretty good matchup against the Colts. I mean, look, I could see Stafford having a bigger game because, they're passing the ball more because this is what they do. And maybe Lawrence doesn't need to pass much because, we got the Colts here with Gardner Minshew at QB, but I think his efficiency will be fine. So really close, but I'll lean T-Law still. And then Rahul, Ramesh, Jaleel or Ramondre?
Well, I'm going Ramondre. I mean, Javante's playing. Patriots might come back firing on all cylinders for it's more about Ramondre gets the Raiders and Jaleel gets the Chiefs with Javante back. I mean, look, maybe Jaleel does what he's been doing, has one nice play for a touchdown, and maybe Ramondre does nothing, but with Javante coming back, you're really risking it. Just give me Ramondre.
Yeah, that's very optimistic to think the Patriots actually have cylinders to fire. But I mean, they could be less worse. But yeah, I think I'm going to go Ramondre because, like you said, Javante is playing. So just go Ramondre. And then Brody Meredith. Appreciate the super chat. Need to start 2 running backs. Zach Moss, Javante Williams, Jerome Ford, Rashawn Johnson, Keontae Ingram.
Well, I think Ford is your best bet here, even though, man, I mean, now with Deshaun Watson out against the 49ers. But look, even with Dorian Thompson last week in a really bad matchup, I think he still got like nine-ish something PPR points. He caught passes. He'll be involved. I mean, can you start Keontae Ingram? No, you can't. Can you start Javante? Like, I can't. I mean, look, if Rashawn played, yeah, but it doesn't sound like he's going to play. So I think you almost have to go Ford and Moss.
Yeah, I think you have to. Look, these guys, none of them are overly appealing, right?
No.
You got to go for volume. With running backs, generally speaking, you want to chase volume. None of these guys are going to put up insane efficiency numbers. I'm completely out on Keontae Ingram. Rashawn Johnson, I would like to say, but he hasn't practiced, so I'm not going to risk that. And then Ford is getting the volume, like you said. I'm never going to be on Javante this year, so Moss and Ford it is. Alex Sanchez, half PPR, pick 3, 1, 1, and 1. Got B-Rob, got Javante, Cooper, Olave, Judy, Nico.
Brian Robinson, Olave, and Nico are the guys I am going with here.
Yep, exactly the same for me because Javante already said Cooper, not anymore. He would have been a pick probably.
Yep, not anymore.
And then 2 and 3, should I trade or hold Jefferson?
I mean, I'm going to say what I've been saying. Like, I think at 2 and 3, you can hold Jefferson. Like, that's not panic time for Jefferson. But if somebody's willing to give you, like I said, they're willing to give you like a Amon-Ra St. Brown or a CeeDee Lamb because they're like, hey, this guy hasn't been very well. Amon-Ra St. Brown probably it's passed because now I think he fully practiced today. But maybe CeeDee Lamb, people are like, he's been a bust, whatever. And throw in like a RB2 or something. I think you have to take it. But outside of that, I'm going to say hold.
Yeah, I mean, you have good enough receivers. The guy I might be worried about is Cooper because of the Deshaun Watson thing, but it's kind of bad time to sell him now. So, yeah, I don't think you have to. We talked about a lot of potential trades yesterday. So let's go with Jonathan 50 cal Frenchies.
Wow.
Cousins or T-Law?
All right. Oh man. I think I'm gonna go Trevor Lawrence again. He's at home versus the Colts. I do still like Cousins, but I mean you can't like him as much without Justin Jefferson. So we're gonna go T-Law here. This is another close one for me. Cousins, T-Law, Stafford, all very close for me this week.
Yeah, I mean You can't feel great about Cousins without Justin Jefferson. You just can't. So I'll stick with T-Law, play it safe. Don't want to risk the terrible game because the Bears defense somehow showed up last week. Not expecting them to necessarily this week, but maybe they will. Also, Cooper, Osborne, or Downs. Are we that out on Cooper?
Yeah, I'm low enough. I'll play Osborne over him. I mean, how good can we feel about Cooper with PJ Walker against the 49ers? I mean, last week, Cooper, like, granted, it was Dorian Thompson, but he had, like, what, 1 catch, 6 targets? Like, can't do it. Osborne is in a good spot this week. I mean, he himself is not good, but he's in a good spot this week. So give me Osborne.
Yeah, just go with the upside of Osborne. I think you have to. Gabriel wants to know Olave or Nico?
Olave. I like Olave this week. I like him bouncing back. I'm going Olave.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Olave. Good choice there, Sir Boomer. If Miles Sanders doesn't play, would you go Hubbard over Pierce?
Who did the Panthers get this week again?
The Dolphins.
Yeah, I probably would. Honestly, I mean, he catches passes. I probably would. What do we really expect from Dameon Pierce? Yeah, I probably would. If Sanders is out, I probably would go Hubbard.
I mean, if Sanders is out altogether, then at least you know what Chuba's going to do. He'll catch a few dump offs.
Right.
So he's going to give you a floor. Maybe he scores, gets something in garbage time. So I think if it's PPR, you go Hubbard. If it was a standard league, I would go Pierce because I think I'd feel better about him getting a touchdown and maybe some rushing yards. But probably go Hubbard. And then Marco. Fields, Pollard, Walker, Nakua, DJ, probably more, Ferguson, Devontae Smith on the bench, Hollywood Tua, Saquon, QJ, and Jeff Wilson. Would you change anything?
No, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to have 2 on your bench this week, but I mean, you don't really want to bench Fields.
No, not against the Vikings.
Yeah, no, you don't want to bench Fields. And it's tough to have. I think it's tough to have Hollywood on your bench, but you don't want to bench any of these wide receivers. So, and I do kind of feel like we might see a Devonta Smith squeaky wheel week this week. The Eagles seem to be a team that really does buy into the squeaky wheel. And there's been a lot of Devonta. Like, remember last week, there was a lot of Dallas Goedert questions last week.
Yep.
Couple weeks ago, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts had their little sideline thing, and he started going off. Now there's a lot of Devonta Smith questions for Nick Sirianni this week. I feel like we're going to see a big Smith game. So, yeah, leave it how you have it.
Yeah, and I know you're like, how do I leave Saquon on the bench? I mean, you got Pollard and Walker. I think this week, because of the matchup, trust Pollard. Saquon is, maybe not even 100% yet. So I think you're good. Now, I would say probably you got Fields and Tua. This might be a time to field offers for one of them. Why not? You don't need 2 starting quarterbacks if it's a single quarterback league. And then Ghosts, Miag. I don't know. Half PPR 12 team, 2 and 3. All right. Got some trade options here. Waddle, Achane, and Quentin Johnson for Ridley, Gibbs, and Pickens. Very interesting.
Ridley Waddles feels pretty close for me. Obviously, Achane will over Gibbs if healthy. And I would have Pickens over Quentin Johnston for sure. Man.
I mean, I'll say with this trade, like Quentin Johnson, to me, I don't think he's really going to have much value. Definitely prefer Pickens because he's startable. But if this is just bench depth, it doesn't matter. Achane for Gibbs, if you need a running back, you'd rather have Gibbs. I'd rather have the right side because I feel like right now you're only getting one usable player in Waddle. And then you get Ridley, of course, who are basically the same as Waddle fantasy-wise right now. And then you get 2 usable players. So I think I would go the Ridley side. But what about this? I don't know. Do you have a strong preference?
Not really. Yeah.
Or does it matter the roster makeup?
I mean, yeah. Well, but see the thing, like I was gonna say, if you need running back help now, but I mean Gibbs isn't really gonna help you now. So yeah, no.
Yeah. And then option number 2, Cook and Downs for Pittman and Stevenson.
These are very these are very like close trades for me because I think Cook and Pittman are pretty. I'm assuming James Cook, of course. I'm pretty sure no one's trading for Dalvin Cook. Cook and Pittman are pretty close for me as far as like, do you need wide receiver? Do you need running back? But then Downs and Stevenson are kind of close for me too because they're both guys that like you really don't ever want to start, but you could start them. Maybe Stevenson still has potential, but Downs maybe has some potential too long term. So it would come down to team need for me. If I need running back, I'll take the Cook side. If I need wide receiver, I'll take the Pittman side.
Yeah, again, in a vacuum, I'd lean Pittman Stevenson, but James Cook is startable right now. Stevenson is barely startable. Pittman is definitely startable. Downs is a little more like a in need of a flex kind of play. So yeah, depends where these guys are on your roster. Would they be on your depth chart? Andrew Gill in Superflex, which two to start? CJ, Gino, or Gardner?
It's CJ and Gardner for me. I mean, CJ and Gino for me. Oh man, don't start like Gardner Minshew just doesn't. I mean, he's fine, but just not a lot of upside with Gardner Minshew. Give me Stroud and Gino.
But the revenge game against Jacksonville.
The revenge game from
Gardner Minshew.
How many years ago was he on Jacksonville?
It's never too late for revenge.
Oh, okay.
If you watched any samurai movie, you should know this. It's never too late for revenge.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely CJ and Gino. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. All right. Country Connected. Welcome back. My team sucks. It's 0-4. All right. Let's see. Purdy, Henry, Ford, Godwin, Debo, and Davis. I know you're thinking the same thing. It's like week 6. There was, remember that 11-team league that we heard about?
So he was saying he had like a bye?
There's like a bye, I guess. I mean,
Okay.
Unless he meant 0-5. Either way, clearly we're hurting here. Traded Debo and Godwin for Kupp and Connor last week. I still think that's a win, even with Connor hurt.
Yeah, that's definitely a win because you got Kupp.
Ford and Russ.
Ford and Russ for Rashad. I mean, that's fine. Now it sucks less.
All right. So Sutton or Jaleel, if you got to pick a Bronco tonight.
I guess I got to go Sutton. I mean, maybe Jaleel keeps doing what he's been doing and, turns 8 touches into a decent game. But with Javonte back, you got to be a little worried. Sutton gets end zone targets. He has a chance to score. Chiefs secondary is good, but he's not going to get the Surtain treatment. Well, he can't get the sauce treatment that he got. He obviously can't get the Surtain treatment unless the Broncos are going to play themselves. But he's not going to get the sauce treatment that he got last week. So I'll go Sutton.
Yeah, I think I still go Sutton. Hope for a touchdown. So this team, Purdy is fine. Henry and Rashad and Connor comes back. Getting Kupp definitely helps. Helps. So
definitely helps.
Yeah, hopefully Sutton comes through for you tonight. Jonathan Cody, would you flex Johnson? I guess assuming he plays Foreman, Gibbs, Dell, Jameson. Lost JJ, so he's got Evans, Olave, Hollywood.
Dell hasn't practiced all week. He's looking very doubtful. Again, I'm going to say if Rashawn Johnson is out, who's also looking very doubtful, I go with Foreman here. Gibbs also looking very doubtful. He still hasn't practiced this week. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not.
You're almost just going to have to pick which Bears running back is starting, right? If Rashawn plays, you go him. If it's not him, go Foreman.
Exactly.
Or maybe
Yeah.
just go Foreman.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be Foreman. I mean, look, it's concussion. He could clear tomorrow or something, but it's not looking good for him. Because usually guys that are about to clear, they're at least back to practice.
Right.
He hasn't even been back to practice yet. So it's probably gonna be Foreman.
Yep. Just put Foreman in there for now. I mean, I would say it would be Dell, but he probably won't play either. I'm not ready to start Jameson Williams. And then he's wondering if Evans would be inactive because he was hurt before the bye. I think, is Evans practicing?
Yeah, I saw Evans was limited today. I mean, you never know, but he was limited today.
If he doesn't go, drop Dobbs to get somebody else as a replacement.
I mean, yeah, you pretty much have to because Dobbs on a bye. I mean, I don't know how deep this league is, but I dropped Tank Dell in my 10-team home league, and I don't think anybody's going to pick him up. Like, he wasn't good the last time he played. He didn't play last week. He's probably not playing this week. Like, I don't think anybody's picking him up. Depends on how deep your league is, of course. But, I mean, Dobbs wasn't very good, and he didn't play this week, so people probably aren't picking him up either. So,
this is true. All right. And then Country Connected also actually wants to ask, would you go Purdy or Stafford if you have?
Well, here I go Stafford. Purdy, tough matchup against Cleveland. Even though they don't have Deshaun Watson, they still have a defense. So I'll go Stafford.
And I mean, with a backup quarterback there, 49ers just might not have to pass the ball too much. Cleveland does have a good defense. Cleveland on the road. I'm going to go Stafford. Bobby Brook, welcome again. 14-team PPR. All right, let's rate this team. Ritter. Okay, so your quarterback's Desmond Ritter. We've established that. You got Bijan and Swift and Aaron Jones and White and Dillon. You definitely are a Packers fan. I see a Packer at every position here. And you got Watson. You must be sort of like a closet Falcons fan because you have a lot of Falcons too. Keenan, Watson, Hollywood, Pickens, London, Logan Thomas, and Kmet. I mean, you need a quarterback. You have to drop somebody. Would you drop somebody else?
No. I'm not going to roll with three. You don't even need to roll with two quarterbacks, but I'm certainly not rolling with three. I mean, this is a pretty solid team. You got Bijan, you got Swift, you got Keenan, you got Watson, Hollywood, Pickens, London, you got White, Dillon, Aaron Jones when he's healthy. You got two decent tight ends. This is a pretty good team for a 14-teamer. This team should do pretty well.
And that's what I had just noticed. You got two tight ends, both of which are kind of streaming options. Do you drop one of those tight ends instead of Jordan Love?
I don't think so because you have the space. I mean, look, you have the space, and it's always good. Like, these aren't tight. Like, Logan Thomas and Cole Kmet are not set and forget tight ends for me.
Right.
So you can play matchups with them, right? You can be like, okay, if next week, I don't know I haven't looked at week 7, but let's say Kmet plays the 49ers, which they don't. They have a good matchup again. I know that. But let's say Logan Thomas plays the 49ers. Okay, you play Kmet. But then the week after, maybe Logan Thomas plays the Rams and Kmet has a tough matchup. You can play Logan Thomas. So I think it's okay to have two tight ends in this instance when they're these type of guys, when they're like streaming guys.
Yeah, I think, look, I get you're a Packers fan, but we have to separate fandom from winning in fantasy. If you want to win in fantasy, then you got to do what makes sense. But
yeah,
even a 14-team league, probably nobody's rushing out to pick up Jordan Love.
No.
So just play Ritter, and then after this week, swap that out. Ritter for Love if you really want. Although maybe you're thinking, wow, look, Desmond Ritter has turned a corner. He's a legit quarterback now. I'm going to play him.
Yeah, I somehow doubt that.
And yes, declares, thank you, Danny, for dropping the knowledge. Deshaun Watson is officially out, which is why you got to make tough decisions like starting Desmond Ritter this week. But
yes,
if we've been saying so far, obviously, if you have Deshaun Watson, get him out of your lineups. If you did have him in there, but also Amari Cooper, it's going to be tough to really see a path to him having a big game because he's already got a matchup against the 49ers defense and now a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Money Maine, who to drop 4 acres? Ingram, Sanders, or Spears?
Ingram.
Definitely Ingram. Easily, definitely Ingram.
Yes.
Cameron Forbes, Hollywood, Kirk, Addison, or Nico?
Ooh, only one of these guys? Man. It's hard to bench Christian Kirk this week. I think I gotta go with Kirk. I mean, it's hard to bench Hollywood too. He's been really good, but I think I gotta go Kirk.
This is tough. These guys are all very close together.
Yes.
So, like when you see with you know, like a weekly rankings, and there's going to be a video this week on wide receiver rankings, but it's like, you know, if you have a guy 19 and the other one's 20 and the other one's 22, does it really make a big difference? I mean,
no.
Thinking offhands, let me check. So I mean, of course, that's the other thing with rankings. They change all the time based on news, based on different things that happen. I guess, although Hollywood, I do see a questionable tag by his name.
Yeah, but I
It's
saw a video of him at practice today. He looked totally fine.
yeah, so it was an illness, so he should be fine. Addison does have some upside. He has an ankle thing. He was limited. He should go, but I guess I have Hollywood the highest.
Yeah, it's very close between them. So,
all right, this might be the most interesting comment we've had in a long time. I don't even know what to make of this. Parabellum thinks that you look like a Pierre and I look like a Chris.
Interesting. All right.
Never considered that. But now I have to question everything about my life.
Right.
Another funny comment. I'm not gonna put that. Okay, Rook it. Time to get that ring. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so got Burrow is going to go off this week. Pollard's definitely going to go off this week. Etienne, Diggs, Waddle, Pittman, and Joku on the bench. Barkley, London, Deontay, Dotson, Musgrave, Russ. Yeah, tight ends.
Although, you know, it might be like Njoku was actually okay last week because, I mean, look, it's PJ Walker, so you can't, you know, it's not apples to apples, but Njoku actually like had one of his best games of the season because Dorian Thompson kept targeting him. It is the 49ers though, so that's the downside here.
Yeah, I can't feel good about starting Njoku this week, but you can't start Musgrave, so I don't know what else you got. Don't know who you have as streaming options. You might want to stream somebody, but only if there's actually a better option. So, yeah. I mean, look, guys who maybe, a 12-team league who may be available that I might like better than Njoku. It's not a long list. I mean, I don't know. It's a really short list. Gerald Everett, maybe. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. I might just roll with Njoku. Unless, like, somehow, you know, Ferguson is still on your waiver wire.
Yeah, or Logan Thomas, maybe.
Yeah, people like that.
Yeah, you got to start Burrow. Bench, you got Pollard and Etienne. No need to risk it with Barkley. And then, would you like London better than Pittman?
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
I think London has both the higher ceiling and the lower floor. Like, we already know.
Yeah, Pittman's certainly safer. Pittman's certainly your safer option, but London is like your go for broke option.
Yeah, forget safe. We don't win by playing it safe. Put London in over Pittman. There you go. Get that ring. All right, Flacco. Hollywood, Addison, Higgins, or Sutton?
I think I'm going Hollywood. Even if Higgins plays, I think Hollywood's a guy I feel good enough about that I don't need to risk it with Higgins this week. I'm going to go Hollywood.
Yeah. Now, this group, I can say no to Sutton. And then with those options, I can pass on Higgins and feel pretty good about it. Addison, we know with JJ out, could have a lot of targets, but I'm going to stick with Hollywood too. Couple of quickies here. Big Huss, would you start Tony tonight?
Not if I don't have to.
No. Preferably no.
Yeah.
And then Vinny, RB1 got Pollard. Need an RB2 between Stevenson, Robinson, Gibbs, or JT?
It's close between Robinson and JT for me.
Yeah.
I'd probably just go Robinson and don't risk it with JT, but man, it's very close. Very close.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with Robinson. And then Uncle Rico is in the house. All right. Starting for the Colts this week. PPR, tight end premium.
All right.
T, Robinson, Komet, Judy, Moss, and Tutu. We need 3 of those guys. Is the
Tight end
premium
premium.
enough to make you consider Komet?
Yes. Over these guys, yes. I will go the first 3, assuming T plays and that they're like, he's good. Don't, yeah, he's fine. If not, then I would probably pivot to Tutu. Look, Moss might have a good game, but it's such a crapshoot what we're going to get from Moss this week. Although it's pretty much a crapshoot for Tutu as well, but he does have a good matchup against the Cardinals. So, because the problem is, are you going to play Judy tonight? And that's the problem because Judy plays tonight.
No, he's one of those guys I'm not going to put in over T. Higgins. Even though, like I said, I really don't want to try to risk it with T. Higgins, but Judy just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. So go first 3, and then if T is out or it does not sounding good for T, I guess I go Tutu in PPR. Maybe Moss. I don't know.
One of those guys.
Which one though?
I would probably go Tutu.
Yeah.
No risk it. No biscuit. J.R. Fuentes. Gibbs is questionable. Would you play Williams or wait?
I think you gotta play Javonte. I really don't think Gibbs is playing.
Yeah.
And even if he does, how much is he gonna play? Coming off a hamstring? We know how Dan Campbell does with guys coming off injuries, unless they're Monroe St. Brown. Okay, we know what he does with running backs coming off change of pace running backs coming off injuries. I think you got to just play Javonte tonight if those are your options.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to play Javonte, but if
yeah,
you don't have anybody else or that's just your best option, yeah, I'm not waiting on Gibbs. Emilio, welcome back. Got a repeat from yesterday. All right, so once confirmation, Rice over Mondre at flex.
Yeah, I'm still doing it. I don't feel great about either of them, but I mean, and now I saw a report today, although take it with a grain of salt. They're considering starting Will Greer over Mac Jones.
I understand why, but
I mean, yeah, but
that helping the offense.
That doesn't make me feel better necessarily. So,
well, why wouldn't they start Bailey Zappi?
Because he's awful. He's horrible. Every time, no joke. Every time he throws the ball, it looks like the ball is weighs 10 pounds. That's literally what it looks like. Like the ball is too heavy for his arm. I'm not even joking.
I mean, he's not a guy who I would say has a cannon, but he's not I actually saw a true story. I actually saw Bailey Zappi in person play because he come from a smaller conference school and they played at UTSA here, and just so happens, and that offense, the team that Zappi led, which is why he was drafted, was one of the highest scoring offenses in college football. But they were a smaller conference team. So, anyways, I just remember that. Maybe that's why I'm biased towards Bailey Zappi.
Probably. I'm going Rice. I'm still going
Rice. Bias confirmed. MC, start Goff or Russ?
I mean, I do kind of like Russ, but I think I still got to go Goff over Russ.
Yeah, I can't convince myself to start Russ unless I really have nothing better going on here. I know road Goff is not the best Goff, but it's probably better than any Russ at this point. And then Kirk or Garrett Wilson?
Definitely Kirk here. Definitely Kirk for me. That's the easy one. I really don't want to play Garrett Wilson if I don't have to.
No. I would just throw this out there, though, just playing devil's advocate for no reason whatsoever. Remember
Okay.
in week 1, we really had this big game against the Colts. Kirk did nothing in week 1. Do you think that that's a matchup thing, or do you think it was a week 1 thing?
I mean, I certainly maybe Kirk doesn't have his best game this week because Ridley's going off. But I mean, what is Garrett Wilson's best game
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Like,
against the
what are
Eagles?
we getting from Garrett Wilson?
Against the Eagles, like you're just really hoping for that he scores, right? You're just like, please find the end zone, please find the end zone.
Yeah, which means please catch the ball short and take off for 50 yards and outrun the defense. It's sad because all those advanced stats point to you'd think that Garrett Wilson would be having a monster year. First route, reads, target share, air yard share, all of this. And no. And then we got Jonah John, Lockett or Cooper.
Well, I mean, now it's easily Lockett this week with PJ Walker starting.
Definitely. Got to be Lockett. I might have leaned Lockett anyways, but yeah, definitely Lockett. And then rate this trade, got T. Higgins for Jordan Addison.
I like it. Long term, I think this is going to be very good for you. I still believe in T. Higgins long term. I like Jordan Addison, but give me Higgins, definitely.
Yes, definitely going with T. Higgins. I think if you got T. Higgins, that's a good trade. And then he's got another one, Russ or Stafford.
Definitely Stafford for me. Definitely Stafford.
Yep. Just, we kind of talked a little bit about both these guys. Definitely going Stafford. Edward.
Definitely Fields.
Stafford or Justin Fields?
No, give me Fields. I mean, I like Stafford this week, but he doesn't have nearly the upside of Justin Fields. And Fields in a great matchup. Give me Fields.
Yeah, which is funny because you say, well, the rushing upside. Like, for some reason, Justin Fields isn't even running, but he still is having big games. It's the Vikings. You have to. Well, number one, you have to see what he's doing. 2 monster games in a row. You have to keep him in your lineup as hot as he's been. Stafford is a safe play. Stafford is like, okay, better than Russell Wilson, Brock Purdy play, but not over Justin Fields. And then Ron Real TV. Would you trade the T-Law and Kirk stack for Olave because he already has Hurts?
Yeah, I would do this because you're essentially just trading Kirk for Olave because you're never going to play Trevor Lawrence over Hurts. So yeah, I like this for you. Definitely.
Yeah, why not? Upgraded receiver. It's really not costing you anything. And it's not at this point, I can say it's pretty safe to say you're not giving up an elite fantasy quarterback. Maybe second half he goes off, but if he does, well, I have Jalen Hurts and now I have Chris Olave. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I think you could do that. This must be a start sit question. Jonas, Olave or Hopkins?
Yeah, I'm going Olave. I like Olave this week. I think he has a big week. Look, I liked Hopkins last week because he played the Colts, but now he doesn't play the Colts this week. Plays the Ravens, who have a good secondary, and yeah, Hopkins just doesn't do it for me. Give me Olave.
Right. Hopkins is definitely playable, but much tougher matchup. In London, I'm going Olave. And then the Kane train, 10 team PPR. Would you trade Tua and Olave for AJ? He already has Josh Allen.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I prefer AJ Brown over Olave, definitely. And you already have Josh Allen. So I just, unlike the other one where it's like, okay, yeah, it's Trevor Lawrence. This is Tua. So even though I do like this trade for you in a vacuum, I feel like you can get more because it's Tua. Like, whereas Trevor Lawrence, like, nobody's like, you can't be like, well, I'm giving you Trevor Lawrence. You got to give me something else. They're like, yeah, dude, no, I'm good. It's Tua. You could be like, hey, throw in like, I don't know, whatever, a bench running back. Throw in a Tyjae Spears or somebody like that.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. See if you can get another. It's 10 team PPR. You're pretty deep at running back, it looks like. And now adding that piece, this helps you. But I agree. You could get a little bit more, just at least another piece. And then Emmanuel Gonzalez, McKinnon or White?
Oh, man. I mean, look, it's the Broncos. But, I mean, you really are banking on McKinnon, like, turning his 5 touches into something really good against the Broncos. I don't know if I can do that. I'm going Rachaad White personally.
Yeah, McKinnon is either he gets a touchdown or he does nothing, pretty much. So I would go White. Always going to lean towards the volume. White's
Yeah.
getting the volume. Christopher E. Another trade. Give Dak and Lamb to get Howell Jacobs. Or he says it might be Carr instead of Howell. All right. So Dak Lamb for Jacobs and the quarterback. Who would you
Howell,
give
Derek
back?
Carr, whatever. These are guys that should be on the waiver wire. Unless it's super flex, of course, but these are guys that should just be on the waiver wire and you're streaming them when you need them. Then they shouldn't be like QB1s.
No, and I think if I remember this, I think Dak was like his backup anyways. But okay, so basically it's like Lamb for Jacobs.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. If you need running back more than you need a wide receiver like Lamb, if you're like, hey, my RB2 is Jerick McKinnon or somebody like that, right? Then yeah, you need Josh Jacobs. And if you're like, hey, I have like 4 really good wide receivers plus a couple decent guys on my bench, then yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's very fair. If you need running back, then yeah, take it.
Yeah, it's fine. It seems fair both sides. Yeah, it just comes down to what you want. Good running back, good receiver. All right, so we're going to continue. We're getting there, guys. If you did super chat in the last half hour or so, don't worry. We're getting to you. We just haven't caught up just yet. We got, I guess, a little less than an hour until the game starts. So get those last minute start sit questions in. First, quick reminder, you got also less than an hour left to take advantage of the new customer special for Underdog. That would be Pat Mahomes getting a yard. That's it. 1 yard. If Pat Mahomes gets a yard and you made the right choice to take the higher on that, then that's basically like a free square. And you combine it with any other pick, and you're going to triple your money. So, of course, you need to be signed up and register for Underdog. When you do that, use promo code ENDGAME because that guarantees that you get a deposit match of 100% up to $500. So every dollar you put in there, they're going to match it. And you have to use code ENDGAME, of course. And then you also, whether you're new or an existing user on Underdog, you can also take advantage of 100K Sundays. That's Cooper Cup right now. Higher, lower, it really doesn't matter. Just use that pick. Now, you can combine it with the new customer one. You have to do separate pick'ems, as Danny pointed out earlier. But why not? Separate chances to win money. I mean, the first one's almost a gimme. And then you just entered to win $10,000 just from using that pick. All right. So there you go. Just use promo code ENDGAME. And also, if you're already on there during the game tonight, you'll notice, if you haven't already noticed this, you can make in-game picks. So as the game is going on, constantly updated after every play. And you can do some of those. I really wish I had bet more. Last week I tried it. I don't do the in-game ones too much because usually I'm just actually too busy to watch the Thursday and the Monday night games. But I think it was Monday night. Yeah, it was Monday night. This Monday night, I made some picks. I did a 3-pick slate, and I won. I got them all. I nailed them all. Unfortunately,
Nice.
I only bet like $6, but
hey, high rollers over here.
Yeah, well, I did win. I did win a good amount 2 weeks ago. But anyways, cheese 56218. That's how many cheeses are out there. PPR league with Dell probably out. Robert Woods, Josh Downs, or Rishi the rice cake.
Just give me the rice cake. I mean, Woods, no ceiling. Downs, no ceiling. Rice at least has a decent ceiling. It's the Broncos. It's the Chiefs. Give me Rice.
Yeah, I mean, Rishi Rice with the cake matchup, you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So go with Rice. And then Dispatcher 15, thinking about betting entire life savings on Braves and Chiefs. This is where I would point you to Underdog's information packet on responsible gaming.
Yes.
But besides that, what do you think?
I have no idea. Braves, I have no idea. I mean, all I know is like they got like Bryce Harper is mad at some guy and staring at him while he runs around the bases.
Yeah, that pretty much
but
sums up the series.
Look, Bryce Harper is way better at baseball than I could ever dream of being, but he needs to understand that like when you stare at a guy like that, and then they ask you in the press conference, was it personal? You don't say, like, just go watch Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, go watch those guys. You don't say, yeah, I stared at him. You just say, like, what do you think? Like, that's the answer you give. You don't like, yeah, I stared at them. It's like, okay, thanks. You just ruined it, right? It's like, no, you just say, like, what do you think?
Yeah, you should
But
have had
anyway,
something better
I don't know.
prepared.
Don't bet your life savings on sports would be my best advice.
No. So rewind a minute or so. Yes, join Underdog. Yes, use promo code Endgame. Yes, take advantage of all those offers. No, don't go to your life savings. I think $500 is like a good limit of where you would start.
Yeah, if
And
you really
assuming
want,
you have the money to bet.
yeah, if you really want, bet the five. If you instead of betting your life savings, how about bet the $500 Underdog gives you?
Yes.
That way, if you lose, you still have your $500.
And if you do win, when you do start to win, you set aside some so that you don't lose it all. And you bet with your winnings, not with your life savings. But okay, so that aside, locks for tonight's game. Let's start Chiefs and Broncos. Anything you consider a lock?
I mean, are we going to go through the underdog picks? Do we have time for this?
Not all of them, just anything that jumps out.
Well, let's see.
Isaiah Pacheco's at 76 rushing yards.
Yeah, I would take the higher on that.
Or fantasy points, 15.
Yeah, I would take the higher on that too. Obviously, I'm going to do a lot of Pacheco.
Yeah, I think
I'll take the higher. I'll take the higher on Mahomes half a yard. I'll take that.
Yeah, that seems like a good one. I'm not going to go on any Chiefs receivers though. We like Rashee Rice, but I'm not going to go all in on him because it's still very iffy. I would say that. As far as Braves, yeah, I don't have time to get into that. Man, honestly, I'd rather put something on maybe Bryce Harper drawing a walk, or Schwarber on strikeouts. All right, and then we got, let's see, we got Matt Urti, Josh Allen, Kamara, Mostert, Olave, Pittman, Kyron, and then Kelsey. On the bench is Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, Mike Evans. Pittman for Smith or Collins or Evans.
Yeah, I'm putting Smith in over Pittman. Am I flexing Evans if he plays over Kyron or Nico over Kyron?
Nico, who do they play? Don't they play the Saints? Right? Texans,
Yeah.
Saints. Yeah, I'm not feeling a big Nico week. I'm worried about that matchup. So, and then Evans, I don't know. I think I have to play Smith. I would swap him out.
Smith over Pittman for sure, but yeah, probably just roll with Kyron.
Yeah. Do a couple quickies here. Don, welcome back. DeAndre Swift or James Cook?
Swift. Definitely Swift.
I mean, I like them both. I think I picked both to boom, but I got to go Swift. Yeah. Ryan Murray, Debo or Nico?
I gotta go Debo still. Debo can always do what Debo does. Nico not in a great spot this week. Give me Debo.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying tough matchup for the Niners, but also for the Texans. I'm gonna go Debo. All right, and then let's go with Austin. 2 receivers in the flex, starting Lamb, Nico, and Kirk. On the bench, do you like any of these guys better?
I might flex Flowers over Nico. I might play Flowers over Nico this week. I think I'm going Flowers over Nico.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Flowers, such a good matchup. I mean, we still want to start receivers against Tennessee, don't we?
Yes, I do. I definitely
Especially a guy who's going to spend a good amount of time in the slot. Yeah, I think you got to get Flowers in there. I think it could be for either Nico or Kirk. Like I just said,
I still like Kirk against the Colts. I mean, even though I expect Ridley to have a big game, I don't expect Kirk to do nothing again.
I agree. Yeah, I just said I was just talking down Nico, so I'll say that Flowers over Nico. Brian Robinson with a Y.
I mean, he's back tonight, but he's probably going to play limited snaps. Yeah. No, I would not say he's a good ad. He's a desperation ad, I guess, if you have no tight end.
So I considered talking about Dulcich on the video that's going to come out tomorrow. But first of all, they're playing tonight, so that didn't make sense. But also, I'm like,
Yeah.
am I there? Am I there yet? And like, maybe I'll talk about him next week, but we'll see. No, I wouldn't add him right now. Although there's a different tight end I'm going to mention, so maybe you like him better. Jerry Proto, welcome back. 0-5. Got Herbert, Gabe, Flowers, Ford. I'm guessing Rashawn, Ertz, Higgins, Osborne, Garrett Wilson, Palmer, Komet, Foreman, Jeff Wilson. Yes, you do need help. Ahmed, Spears, something.
I mean, if Spears is on your waiver wire, I would want to grab him, but I'm not sure who I'm dropping here. I will say I'm playing Komet over Ertz.
Yeah, I think this team, it looks like this team really needed Garrett Wilson to be a stud this year.
Yeah, really did.
It must be hurting at running back because there's no way you drafted any of those running backs.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're 0-5. You might have to trade like a guy like Higgins. Try to get a twofer for Higgins because if he doesn't play this week, yeah, this man. I don't know what your draft looked like, but I'm guessing you probably got devastated by injuries here.
Yeah, this might have been a Nick Chubb team, or because you picked up Ford. I bet you did have Nick Chubb as a first or second round pick. Garrett Wilson hasn't panned out. Yeah, T. Higgins has been struggling. I mean, it's pretty brutal. You're gonna have to do something though, because this roster is not going to get you to the playoffs. Just to be honest.
No.
So, worst comes to worst, maybe see if you can get a legit, really good receiver for Herbert, and then a stream quarterback. If you have a streamable guy, like you can get by with Baker Mayfield or somebody like that.
Yep.
You're gonna have to do something. LJ Hosea, start Jaleel Ford or Gus.
I guess I got to go Ford. At least we know Ford's going to get the touches. I can't expect a big game from Ford, but can't really expect a big game from any of these guys this week. So I guess Ford, he'll get the touches.
Yeah, I wasn't on Gus last week. I'm not this week. And then Jaleel, chase the volume. Go Ford. He's going to get the touches. I think it has to be Ford. And then Paulo 10. Don't see a comment, but if we find it, we'll put it up. So let's keep going for now to Benny Black again. Which two between Rashawn, Spears, Ford, Gus, and Keontae Ingram?
Well, again, Ford is the best of the worst here. I will say if Rashawn somehow clears by Sunday and plays, he would be my number 2. My number 3, I guess, would be Gus. I guess Gus. Oof.
Yeah, Ford's the number 1. I'm not playing Ingram. Rashawn would be number 2, like you said, but if not, it's Gus. And then he says, Ridley, Higgins, Devontae, and Flowers. Would you flex Devontae or Flowers?
Man. I don't think I could put Flowers in over Devontae. I'm not ready to. I do really like Flowers, but man, I don't think I'm ready to put him in over Devontae. I'm gonna go Devontae still.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm putting Devontae and Flowers, and I'm sitting Higgins. That's what I'm
Actually, that's probably what I'm doing too. Playing Devontae. Yeah, good point. Because in this case, don't risk it with Higgins. Just go Devontae and Flowers.
Yeah, don't need to start Higgins this week. Okay, here's Paulo 10's comment. Got horrible matchups at RB. Need to start 2. And should I start any over London? Okay, so Moss, DeMarcado, Pierce, White, or Hill. I'll just say no, don't start any of those over London. Which 2 do you like?
Yeah, don't start any of these guys over London. Man. White and Demercado, I guess. Am I really starting Demercado over Pierce against the Saints?
Might have to.
Yeah, I think I'm going White and Demercado, honestly. As brutal as that sounds.
These guys all kind of lumped together. No to Hill. I'll say no to Hill.
Yeah.
Moss is the one. Like, what is he going to give us? We don't know. I guess White. I think I was leaning Demercado, honestly, anyways. It's just, to me, am I going Pierce or White? It is PPR. I guess just go White. We'll just say White. Make it easy, and then we'll go to Zachary Mudd. What do you think about this trade? Received Joe Mixon, traded away Gibson and Cooper.
I mean, it looks good right now with Deshaun Watson, but I think long term I would prefer Cooper and Gibson. I wasn't in on Mixon this year. Nothing I've seen. I mean, he's getting the usage. But, he got the usage last year. That wasn't the issue. I remember last year I kept putting Joe Mixon on the buy low video, and then finally I just stopped. I'm like, it doesn't even matter. He's getting the usage. He's just dust.
Yeah.
So, I think long term I would have preferred Gibson and Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, Gibson's like whatever here, but Cooper over Mixon, I agree. I would prefer Cooper. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Deshaun Watson just doesn't suit back up. I don't know what's going on there. It's just so weird. What's up, Anthony? Paid overtime? I mean, Florida.
I mean, this isn't. In order to say overtime, you'd have to say this is work. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in here answering.
Elmer Sanchez, thank you. Appreciate your super chat. 12-man league and 1-4. All right, so what can we do? We got Tua and Trevor, Monty Pollard, Kyron, DK Higgins, Michael Thomas, Zay Flowers, Tank. Maybe not a mistype fell. He did fall.
Right.
Kelsey. Kelsey is playing tonight.
Yeah, sure. Kelsey's in tonight. Don't worry about that. I mean, this is a good team, honestly. You got Monty and Pollard, Kyron. You got DK, T. Higgins, Zay Flowers. I mean, I understand why you're 1-4. Like, Pollard hasn't been getting it done. T hasn't been getting it done. DK's just been okay. Flowers been okay. But I think you'll be fine here. Start Tua this week. Start Kelsey tonight. Start Zay over Michael Thomas, please.
Yes.
Yeah, this team can definitely rebound. This team can definitely rebound for sure.
Yeah, it's receiver that's been hurting you because T. Higgins basically either hasn't played or hasn't done anything. Michael Thomas is just a floor play. Zay Flowers has been good but not great. So that's the issue. But your team is good enough to compete. I'd say try to maybe upgrade a receiver, but with T. Higgins coming back, that's definitely going to help. I don't know who else you have a running back. You only have 3 running backs. Because I would say maybe this team should trade Kyron Williams, but if that's all you got, that might be too risky.
That would be very risky.
All right, and then let's go on to Augustin Olvera. Logan Thomas over Kelsey.
That's going to be a hard no for me. Hard no.
Kelsey's playing. If Kelsey plays, you play Kelsey.
Yes.
This is too far. Too far.
Way too far.
Victor Blanco have Stroud, Deshaun, Bijan, Kamara, Lamb, Ridley, London, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Laporta, Mark Andrews, a kicker, any trades. And would you drop anybody?
I mean, I don't think there's anybody in your roster that's droppable that I see. Like, no one here is droppable. I mean, well, I will say, maybe you can drop Watson. If it's a 1 QB league, you can drop Watson. He's not playing again this week. You can drop him. Bijan, Kamara, Lamb, Ridley, London, Garrett Wilson, Watson, Laporta, Andrews, Aubrey. I'm going to hope you have some running backs on your bench. They just weren't worth listing. But overall, this is, I would be looking to, assuming you have other decent RB2 options behind Alvin Kamara that you didn't list, I would be looking to move Alvin Kamara right now. Alvin Kamara so far has been just as bad, if not worse, than last year. The only difference is he caught 13 passes week 1 and he scored in week 2. That's the only thing that's the difference between Alvin Kamara this year to last year. So if you think he's going to score every week, then sure, hold on to Alvin Kamara. But once he stops scoring, which he's going to, because this offense isn't like some crazy offense that's going to give him scoring chances every week, he's going to be the same Alvin Kamara last year, which is not very good. But people are excited about him right now, so I would definitely be looking to trade Alvin Kamara right now.
And then having those 2 tight ends is nice, but if you can only start one, you might as well. I would say I would sell high on Laporta.
Yeah, package Kamara and Laporta and get like a Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, somebody like that.
Yep. Do that. All right. And then Ghost Smeeg? I don't know. 12 team. Happy bar 2. Okay. You got a team here. Any moves, trade targets. Jefferson is an IR. This has a 3 receiver, 1 flex format. It's half PPR and it's 12 team. Appreciate all those details. That's lovely when we get all those. So that helps us get the big picture here. Although I would say I'm not sure which Smith is. I'm assuming Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I'm going to assume Devonta Smith. So if you're a 3 wide receiver, Smith, Ridley, Pittman is your 3 wide receivers.
Running back needs some help because you got Madison, Gibbs, and Stevenson. And Demercado.
I mean, I think you got to go Madison, Stevenson this week at running back. I can't flex any of these guys. I mean, man. I guess just flex Pickens. Oh, no, he's off. He's bye this week. Oh, so you have to flex one of these running backs.
Yeah. And Gibbs might not play. I mean, I guess you have to flex Demercado?
Yeah, I guess you got to flex Demercado.
Is that Zay Jones? I mean, Zay Jones is hurt. I mean, he's droppable for sure.
Yeah, you could drop Zay Jones. You could drop Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, yeah.
Super flex. You got Burrow now. You drop Baker Mayfield. Drop Zay Jones. Drop Baker Mayfield. Pick up some whatever. Curtis Samuel, if he's still out there. You know, these guys that were on the waiver wire video. Pick them up. Trade. I mean, you certainly are these all your running backs, or are you just showing us your flex option running backs? Like, I really hope these are just your flex option running backs. But if these are all, I mean, maybe not.
This seems 2 and 3. I think this is it.
All right, you gotta do something for these running backs. You gotta package a guy like Gibbs, who still has some value, and a wide receiver. Maybe Pickens because he's not playing this week. Maybe package Gibbs and Pickens. Go to the team that's in first place who doesn't care that Pickens isn't playing this week and is fine waiting on Gibbs. Have them send you like a low end. Like, I mean, I don't know if Pickens and Gibbs is going to get you, Etienne or Walker or anything, but man.
Yeah, I don't know. But something.
At least get
you need to upgrade a running back for sure.
Yeah. What about even maybe Derrick Henry?
That'd be great if you could get Derrick Henry. I mean, that would be better. I would say, Brian Robinson, James Cook type.
Brian Robinson, yeah, James Cook, guys like that, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would. Now, is this a team you think should hold Jefferson or make a move?
Well, that's another not a bad idea. If you could trade Jefferson and then you could get could you trade Jefferson and get again, I was talking about a guy like Brandon Ayuk or one of those buy lows like Olave, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, and get one of those running backs. I think that would be great. That would be great.
All right. So there you go. A lot of options, but think about that. A couple of the regular ones as we catch up. John Smith. It might be painful, but we love fantasy football, don't we?
Yes, we do too.
Brian, look, some people just need that confirmation. I know that Travis Kelce is always in the news and you hear these things. So I know. I get it, though. I mean, I don't get asking that question, but I get it. Amy, welcome back. if London's on waivers, you should grab him, right?
Yeah, you should grab. I mean, it depends who you're dropping. Don't drop anybody good, but yeah, you should definitely grab him. Yes.
Yes, I think definitely worth holding on to. And then Flirtsy in London. Evening got Olave, DK, Nico, and London as my wide receivers. Picked Deontay Johnson from waivers. That's right. Remember that. What's your view, and where would you rank these receivers?
My view on Deontay is he's fine. He'll be fine, like bye week fill in, injury fill in type of guy. He'll be fine. As for your wide receiver room, I'd give it like a 7.5.
Olave is
Yeah.
still the one here. DK, I guess, is still the 2.
Yeah, it's like you have like guys like, I do like Olave still, but then behind him, it's like guys that I just feel like, yeah, you're starting them, but you're never like super excited to start them on any given week. So yeah, like a 7.5, I would say.
These guys are gonna probably mix and match based on matchup. So like this week, I would go London over Nico, but most weeks I might go Nico, and it depends. I think the order you have him: Olave, Nico, London, and then Deontay. That's kind of for fantasy. Joe with the tough questions as always. Jonnu Smith or Ty Conklin?
I'll go Ty Conklin actually this week. He's got a good matchup. Got a good matchup for tight ends, and he's been getting involved with Zach. Zach's been actually throwing it to him. So give me Ty Conklin.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith is another guy who kind of had a random decent game, and then he is getting some targets, but didn't he fumble last week? I felt like he fumbled it or something. I'm going Conklin. All right, and then Bilal is back. What happened? He's been gone a couple weeks. But he's 4-1, so that's good. Running
That's
back
good.
most estimated. Got Herbert, Amon-Ra, Debo, Puka, Rashad White, Demercado. This is the starting lineup. Laporta, Goddard, Sutton, Downs, Curtis Samuel, Khalil Herbert, Najee, and Warren. Okay, how can we make this running back room better?
Man, 4-1 with this squad. Well done.
I know, right? Puka, the Puka factor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to look. You have Laporta and Goddard. I might try to just like Laporta, package Laporta, because I feel like he has more. Even though Goddard had that big game, people still like Laporta more. Yep. Package like Laporta and maybe Justin Herbert to a team, like whatever. Find a team that has no QB and no tight end. Package these guys and see if you can get like a decent startable RB2 every week. Because, I mean, Rashad White, Demercado, Najee, Warren, and Khalil Herbert really not going to get it done, long term. So, or maybe even package. Man, really, yeah. You need a running back upgrade. I would just be fine rolling with Goddard and trading Laporta. Look, Laporta, you might even be able to trade Laporta straight up for like a Brian Robinson and James Cook, somebody like that right now, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. He's definitely got value right now. You don't need two startable tight ends, so deal from strength, relative strength, not as massive advantage, but why not? I don't know what else, because you really can't mess with your starting receivers because you don't want to be starting Cortland Sutton or Curtis Samuel every week.
Right.
You can't trade those backup running backs you got. So that's pretty much all you can do. Yeah, I don't see anybody else who really has good trade value right now that doesn't hurt your starting lineup. So there you go. See what you can get for Laporta. If you need to package a Sutton or Downs, that's totally fine. And then Dom Donegan dropped a super chat. Here's the question. Lockett, Collins, and Gabe have to sit one.
I mean, the smart choices here are Lockett and Collins. The go for it choices are Lockett and Gabe. I do really like Gabe this week. I think Gabe could have a big week this week. But Gabe could always do what Gabe does and, let us down. So Lockett and Collins are probably like who you should start this week. But if it's me, I'm probably going Lockett and Gabe.
I'm going Lockett and Gabe. Again, worried about Collins this week. Gabe gets the Giants.
Yeah.
Not too concerned. I'll go Lockett and Gabe. Brian, what is up, Brian? No dumb questions. Okay, stash AR or Kyler?
AR 15 for sure.
Yeah, I'm not in on Kyler this year. Oh, sorry, we already did that one. I had to fall back, and now we're catching up. Okay, so now we're on to High Max. Which 3 of the 4 would you stash? Marvin Mims, Michael Wilson, Keaton Mitchell. Been too long since we had a Keaton Mitchell question. And Kendre Miller.
Not Keaton Mitchell.
No.
The other 3. not stashing Keaton Mitchell.
Oh, man. Okay, you know what? Are we obligated? If someone did put a super chat, are we obligated to put it on the screen?
I think so.
All right. Only because the previous one was generous and because, yes, we do appreciate you, Bilal.
Oh, man. You know what the irony is? It's actually the reverse. Like as a fan of neither team, it's actually the reverse. The Pats suck and
it's it's kind of roasting yourself here, isn't it? It silently sobs in corner. Hey, who knows? Maybe Will Grier gets it done. Bobby, Bobby says, would you trade? Are you ready for this? Bijan,
oh man,
and Keenan for CMC and Nico.
I don't think so. I mean, look, it's tempting to get CMC, right? It's very tempting to get CMC. But I think the drop off from Keenan Allen to Nico Collins is too severe.
Yeah.
Like Keenan Allen looks like at worst a top 10 wide receiver rest of the season. Nico maybe like a top 25 wide receiver rest of the season, something like that probably, right? I don't know. Something in that range.
Yeah.
I mean, Bijan is at worst like a top 3 running back rest of the season, and CMC like it's not a big drop from CMC to Bijan. It's a big drop from Keenan to Nico. So I'm keeping Bijan and Keenan Allen.
You know, it's funny is after week, was it 2 or 3, you would have said, I mean, not you, I mean, anyone would be like CMC and Nico. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But then Mike Williams went out for the season. Keenan has gone off. And Nico, after 2 monster games, then didn't have monster games. And Tank Dell got involved. And so it's like, and then Bijan has been coming on. I think I'd rather have the Bijan Keenan side. Yeah. I'm going Keenan over Nico. Ashton Aki, 3-2. Osborne, Curtis Samuel.
Give me Curtis Samuel this week, honestly. Like, I don't know. I like Curtis Samuel's spot, actually. I think he's in a good spot coming out of the slot this week. So I'll take Curtis Samuel over Osborne.
It's close. Osborne obviously is intriguing. Curtis Samuel has been solid. You know, I guess feeling risky this week. I'd say I might just shoot for the upside with Osborne, but it's pretty close. I am flexing Samuel in one league, I think. And then Goddard or Jonnu, it's got to be Goddard.
Yeah, definitely Goddard.
And then Boomer, you know what? They do. I don't know where the uncatchable target rate. Where do you find that? There is a stat, right, of which receivers have the most uncatchable
targets. I think Fantasy Points has it, don't they? You got to subscribe, but I think they have it. It's Fantasy Points is awesome. We got a subscription. It's great. We use it for our videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check. They probably do. I know they do. What's it called? They do monitor that. I think it's probably Fantasy Points. I'll get back to you on that. Bobby Brook. We've got an IDP question. Very nice. Brian Burns against the Dolphins or Chris Jones? I think it's got to be Chris Jones.
I honestly have no idea. I don't know. I guess Chris Jones. I don't know IDP. I don't know IDP scoring at all, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going Chris Jones, definitely. Benny Black, Now with the 14-team league, Hurts, JT, Ramondre, Olave, Flowers, Jonnu, White, Downs, lost JJ, Watson is on bye, and then there's the bench. Are we going to put Jaleel or Spears over Ramondre or JT? Probably not.
No.
Over White or Downs?
No, I'm not.
Would you start Everett over Jonnu?
Yeah, I might start Everett over Jonnu.
Yeah, I think I would. Everett, but no, I can't start Jaleel over those guys. I don't think so. Maybe Downs. No, I think I would keep it the way it is. Just Everett. Joe Castles again. Bryce Young, Howell, Minshew, or Dobbs? I feel like Joe puts these questions out just to test us. Like he doesn't have any of these players in his leagues. He just wants to see what we'll say.
Is it crazy if I go Minshew?
I'm not with this group.
Yeah, I think I'm going Minshew. I mean, I don't really like either of them, but I think I'm going Minshew.
I feel like can't be Bryce Young.
No.
I think Howell.
Dobbs was getting interesting, and then last week he didn't run at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like it should be Dobbs based on how he had been playing, but I might go Howell here because it seems like they're okay letting him pass the ball. Minshew's probably the safer pick, though.
Yeah, and just real quick for Sarah Boomer, I just looked. Yeah, Fantasy Points does have not only catchable targets, but the percentage of catchable targets as well.
Very nice. Yeah, something we're using a lot, and that's very helpful. A lot of good stats there. So if you're into that, Trent Thompson, Puka or Lockett?
Gotta be Puka.
I mean, love Lockett this week, but you can't bench Puka. Rise, what's up,
Rise?
Higgins or Addison?
I'll just go Addison again. Still a little nervous about Higgins. Just give me Addison this week.
Yep. Going Addison. This is a player I feel good enough about where I don't have to risk Higgins going out there and doing nothing. MC, start Dak, Russ, or Goff?
I'm going Dak this week. It's the Chargers. If Dak can't do it against the Chargers, then there's no hope for Dak this year. It's the Chargers. It should be a high-scoring game. The Dallas defense has had two major blows to that defense. They're not going to stop the Chargers. Give me Dak.
Yeah. Road Goff or Dak against Chargers. Go with the matchup. Look, if Dak doesn't do anything this week, okay, just full out panic and just say, I can't start Dak.
Yeah.
I just hope that they're getting better. I saw a thing. Mike McCarthy was like so overwhelmed by the loss that he hasn't slept, and he's been like living in the his office, and that he's making the coaches stay there all week and work 20-hour days. Like, let's see if it helps. Like, hopefully you figure something out, because if it doesn't, then you got a problem too.
Yeah.
Ashton Aki, Stroud or Goff?
I'm still going Goff this week. I don't feel like a big Stroud game necessarily, so I'll go Goff.
Yeah, in this case, I guess go Goff. Stroud is solid, but Goff has been really good every week. Bobby Brook, another one. 2 RBs and a flex. Bijan, Swift, yes and yes. Rashad or London?
Flex London over Rashad.
Yeah. And at the flex, it's PPR. Go London. And then Frank Fusco. Got Tank Dell. Have to start Mingo.
I mean, there's nobody else on waiver wire. Curtis Samuel's not still out there. Who else might still? KJ Osborne? Probably not after this week. Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, yeah, Mingo can't. There's got to be somebody else. I mean,
yeah,
look,
gotta be.
When we're looking that deep, let's see. Maybe like a Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, I would even gamble on him over Mingo, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm for some reason you're compelled to start a Panthers receiver, I would rather have DJ Chark than Mingo.
Yep.
So there's got to be
Downs might still be out there.
Oh, look, he even asked. I just saw this. Is Mingo better than Chark? No.
No, I'd rather play Chark. I'd
Yeah.
rather play Chark.
All right, and then the next one is, again, got a lot of repeat customers. Ashton, would you give Monty for Pacheco and Higbee?
No, because this is basically Monty for Pacheco. Look, Pacheco might outscore him this week because he gets the Broncos, but Monty should still be really good. And Higbee now is just, yeah, I'm keeping Monty. I'm keeping Monty.
Yeah, Higbee's, I don't know, not only is he not a trade candidate, he's like shouldn't even be rostered right now. So Monty or Pacheco, go Monty. Yeah. Master Zonk, Ramondre London or Pierce, one to flex.
London. London is my flex. Stevenson, I mean, even against the Raiders, that's tough. Pierce against the Saints, yeah, I'll go London.
Never have we recommended London so highly since week one. Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting London to have like a monster game, but when these are your options, I'm going London for sure. I think he'll have a good game. Okay, game is going to start in 10 minutes, I think. So if you do have
Yep.
a Thursday night question about a Chief or a Bronco, definitely get those in. And we'll stay on until we get to all the super chats and as long as we need to. But we do know that you guys probably want to watch some of the game too. So we'll get you there after the game is over. I usually like to kind of like wind down and catch a nice movie, like Shrek 2 on DVD has a question. Are we trusting T this week? Not really, but if you have Downs, Dotson, or Rice.
Well, for these guys, I'm trusting T. I'll trust
Yeah.
T over these guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Rice could be fine, but in this case, I'll just go on T. Majarkis traded DJ Moore for Mark Andrews.
I think I prefer DJ Moore. It's hard to, I mean, look, I like Andrews, but he's still a tight end. I prefer DJ Moore here.
Yeah, and the thing is, you could have got more for DJ Moore right now, coming off monster game. I feel like you could have got definitely more for him. So, yeah, I don't know. Not terrible, but yeah, you should have probably got more. 4 more. Sammy is another tanking conspiracy theory. I don't think they're tanking.
Yeah, I don't think they're tanking. I'm holding Jefferson. I'm not too worried about it. No.
Not thinking they're tanking, but also we did talk about this a little bit this week. Not expecting Cousins to get traded. I know the media likes to talk about it. People want it to happen. That doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Right.
So don't trade JJ because of that. What's up? Cap for life. 14 team needs 2. We got Rice, Demarcado, Foreman, or Palmer.
Well, I'll go Rice. And then I will say if Rashawn Johnson is out, I'll go Foreman. If Rashawn Johnson plays, then I guess I'll go Palmer if it's PPR. Demarcado if it's standard. But if Rashawn's out, I like Foreman better than both.
Yep. Going to go Rice, so put him in your lineup if he's not already, because it's PPR. So go the receiver there and agree. If Foreman is the guy, you have to wait and you have to see. Like Foreman has carried the load before when he had to be the starter, and he's going to be the only guy if Rashawn Johnson doesn't play. So you can feel good about him. But if not, Rashawn Johnson's back, then swap him out. And then we got Eric Ray, McKinnon or McLaughlin.
Give me McKinnon. I mean, I know McLaughlin's been coming through, but McKinnon gets the Broncos. I mean,
right.
He can make plays against the Broncos. So if I have to choose between these two guys, give me McKinnon.
And I think you got to say touchdown upside has got to favor McKinnon. So with Javonte back, I would say, yeah, go McKinnon because of his matchup. And then another one for tonight. Project to win big, pick one. Okay. McLaughlin, Edwards, or Foreman. If you feel like
I'll say again, if Rashawn's out, I'm going Foreman. If not, just play Gus.
Yeah. Go Foreman. Amy says no one trades. That's not any good. It's a 10 team league. T-Law, Tua, Gibbs, Laporta, Kyron, Monty, Barkley, Warren, Thomas, Dell, Pickens, Thielen, Collins, probably Nico, Rashawn, and Amari.
On waivers.
On waivers, got those guys. London. Well, she asked about London earlier. I mean, if London's out there, pick up London. Who would you
Yeah, but
drop?
who are you dropping for London?
Um,
Honestly, I dropped Tank Dell in my 10-teamer. I don't think anybody's picking him up. I don't think he's playing this week. I would drop Dell for London.
yeah, with I mean, you're not like
Wait.
crazy.
Higgins is on the waiver wire? Is that last name is Higgins?
T. Higgins is on waivers.
Yeah, drop Dell for Higgins. I would drop Dell for Higgins and Michael Thomas for London in 10
Yeah.
teamer.
Yeah, and look, it's a 10-teamer. I know you're not crazy deep at running back, but I don't have to hold Jalen Warren in a 10-team league either. So you could drop him for London. Higgins, if Higgins is out there, go pick up Higgins like right now.
Yeah.
You don't need Osborne or McLaughlin with this team. I think she asked about McLaughlin last week.
Yeah. Does she have McLaughlin on her team?
Oh, and yeah, and see, look at because you got Rashawn who has a nice long-term stash. You definitely don't need Jalen Warren because you also have Rashawn and Amari. I don't know which more, but I actually would drop Warren if that's Michael Thomas. You can drop Michael Thomas. And there was somebody else.
Dell.
Yeah, Dell to pick up Higgins, London, and Palmer. All right. It's 10-teamer. I get it. Definitely more shallow, but yeah. Higgins shouldn't be on waivers. Like, that's crazy. Christian Gonzalez, 1-4 with this squad. What do you think? Ayuk, Ridley, Samuel, Dell, Pickens, Jacobs, Mixon, Foreman, Achane. Is that Keaton Mitchell? I think it's Keaton Mitchell.
Yep. 3 wide receiver.
Laporta, JJ Onara.
Yeah, 3 wide receiver. I mean, well, Ayuk, Ridley, Samuel. Yeah, you can't play Dell. He's probably out. You can't play Pickens. He's on bye. So I guess those are your 3 wide receivers. Your 2 running backs, Jacobs, Mixon. Can't play Achane, obviously. Can't play JJ. Flex, you got Foreman in there. Yeah, I guess you got to go Foreman. Yeah, I mean, you're 1-4. You got to trade either Achane. You don't trade both, but trade one of Achane or JJ and get something really good back. You're 1-4. You can't have both those guys doing nothing for you. I don't know how you're 1-4 with those 2 guys either, but
it's definitely a lot of luck. But
you're gonna have to trade one of them, unfortunately, because you can't be sitting here with those guys on IR when you're 1-4.
Yeah, this is a team that needs to make a move, but also, yeah, that's trade from the area of strength that you have right now. Got JJ, you're gonna need to do something. Don't think we have any other urgent last second. I guess this is a tonight question. Frenzy, McLaughlin, Javonte, or Jerome Ford?
Well, I'm just going to go with Jerome Ford. So
yeah, I would definitely go Jerome Ford.
We do have this one from Sebastian. Are we going to bench? Probably going to bench Ertz, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if you just need a tight end, go Goddard, bench.
Rice.
Yeah, you can bench Ertz.
Yeah.
All right. And then let's see. Okay. And I do see one. Gerald Williams. Don't see a question, except I do now. Have Moss, JT, and Stevenson. Tempted to put them both.
Oh, man. I mean, oh, man. It's only because Stevenson plays the Raiders that I'm like even debating. Like if Stevenson was in a really tough matchup, I'd be like, yeah, just playing both. But I mean, maybe just still playing both.
To save yourself the aggravation.
Yeah.
I think I'm fine with that, honestly. It just would make you more sane, life easier. This one I don't think we should need to get to. Orlando, lock it or Rice, definitely lock it.
Definitely lock it. Definitely lock it.
Don't put Rice in there. Daniel Romero, Spears or Foreman?
Foreman. I'd probably go Foreman even if Rashawn plays, but if Rashawn's out, definitely Foreman.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point that even if Rashawn Johnson's active, Foreman will have to get some touches. They're not
Yes.
going to give Rashawn Johnson 100%.
Right.
Adrian Rios on an 8-team league. Got Herbert, Eckler, Jacobs, Lamb, AJ, K9, Andrews on the benches. Sun God, Waddle, Ridley, JT, and Pierce. It's nice having those 8-team league rosters.
Sun God, JT, Ridley, Waddle just chilling on the bench.
Got Sun God for Nico and Komet. That's a win.
That's a big win. I don't know what you can do here. You literally have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Waddle, Ridley, and JT on your bench. They're on your bench. Like, what can you do here?
There's no way to make this team better, really.
Yeah.
Unless you package JT and Jacobs to get CMC. Yeah, you're good. Zachary Martinez. Receivers are Christian Kirk, DJ Moore, Puka, Cooper. Running backs are Saquon, Madison, and Jacobs. Who should I partner in a trade with? Madison for Swift, Kirk, or Cooper?
Well, I mean, for Swift, you're gonna have to give up a decent amount. It would probably have to be Madison and oh wait. Oh,
I think he's saying, okay, yeah. Let me rephrase it. He's asking,
yeah.
Would you do Madison and Kirk or Madison and Cooper to get Swift?
Either one. Honestly, I would go I think right now Kirk probably has a better chance of getting it done because Cooper hasn't been great. Now Deshaun Watson's not playing. But I would do either one of those guys to get Swift. Either one. Kirk probably is your better chance to get it done right now.
That's true. I mean, if we're gonna overreact to the Deshaun Watson news and say maybe to sell Cooper now, I would do that. Either one. I think it's worth it. Swift has been really good. Connor just dropped a super chat, waiting on the question unless it's back here. I don't see one. Okay, so Connor, go ahead and put your comment in. You're probably already typing as we speak. While we're waiting for Connor's, let's get back to this. Clarification. Amy said she meant to add, who can I grab to improve my points this week? Who do I drop and play? I mean, I still think it's London for this week. I mean, if Higgins is out there, it has to be Higgins.
Oh, yeah. Has to be. You got to add Higgins. Got to add
And then later she asked about Rice. No, this week I would go London over Rice.
Yes. Although it's too late now, but yeah, London over Rice.
Anyways. But yeah, don't worry about missing out on Rice. It's a 10-team league. You got so many other good options on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
All right, and then Connor, still waiting, but we'll wait one more minute. Let's do a couple more last ones. Game is already going to be underway, so we'll finish out here. Rick Hicks, London or Osborne?
London. I'm going London this week.
Like London. A lot of London questions. And then let's see where you did that one. What about Glenn, T-Law, or Joe Cool?
Definitely Burrow. Definitely Burrow.
Yes, most definitely. Then let's go to not fun, Z. Judy or Terry?
Well, it's too late. Judy's already playing, so I don't know who you played, but
does it matter?
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter.
How do you feel about this? Lazarus.
I don't even think it's that they're not. I don't think it's that they're not letting Russ cook. I just don't think Russ can cook anymore.
Yeah, the kitchen is closed. All right, I actually found Connor's. It was from before.
All right.
Start 3 out of Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne, DJ Moore, CeeDee Lamb, and Josh Downs.
Well, I'm happy, Connor, that it's a fairly easy one. Addison, DJ Moore, and CeeDee Lamb are the 3 I am definitely starting.
Absolutely no doubt there. You're starting DJ Moore and CeeDee Lamb, and then you're going to go Addison. Yeah, that was for sure. Sebastian, no super chat. Thank you. Bench Rice, totally fine. Not a big deal. Have Foreman and the Cardinals running backs. If Rashawn is out, put in Foreman. I think you're fine there.
Yep.
Yeah. I said this earlier. I'm not worried about Contra Ingram. He's just not been good. DeMarcado earned his touches. I think he'll be fine. Higgins, hard to trust. Also, Curtis Samuel. You putting Curtis Samuel over T. Higgins?
I mean, Higgins tough to trust, but Curtis Samuel tough to trust too. I'd rather just play Higgins. I'll just play Higgins.
Yeah. In that case, I would. I think you'll be okay with Foreman. Senior Royland sliding in at the last second. Does Watson affect Ford's value?
Yes, but I still can't start Spears over him.
Right.
Because we just don't know. Like, Spears isn't guaranteed the touches. Ford is. So, yeah, it hurts. It certainly hurts his upside, but yeah, I'm still going Ford over Spears this week.
Yeah, still chase volume. Spears is just so uncertain. That's the thing. All right, and last one. Okay, so because she did drop the super chat earlier, who to play? Let me go back to it. It's here. Tila or Tua? I think it's got to be Tua.
Tua, definitely Tua.
I think Laporta seems like the only tight end that I can tell on Laporta. You should start anyways. Hopefully he plays. Running back, Kyron, Monty, Barkley.
Kyron and Monty. I'll wait on Barkley.
And then receiver, I mean, we've already established Adam Thielen is a no doubt.
Thielen, I guess Collins. But look, if you're going to go right now and pick up London and Higgins,
start London.
Yeah, start
and
London.
Higgins, I guess.
Yeah.
It's tough for me is, do I trust T. Higgins over a guy like I don't love this week, like Nico Collins? Don't love his matchup. Because you can't start Pickens. You can't, you're probably dropping Dell.
Yeah, I think I still put Collins over Higgins this week. Unless, like, look, if he logs like a full practice tomorrow and they're like, yeah, there's no issues, like he's 100% fine, then yeah, put Higgins in over Collins.
There you go. All right.
Wow, the Broncos went for it on 4th and 3, and Russ got sacked.
And so it begins.
But you know what? That to me just shows that Sean Payton's not tanking.
Nah, they're not. They're not tanking.
They were in field goal range. If you're like, we don't care about winning, you could just kick a field goal there.
You know, sometimes teams don't have to try to lose on purpose. They can just do it naturally. It's organic. Yeah, I know Higgins is killing everyone, but he's coming back. He'll be better. And then I don't think, is this different or the same? Yeah, we already did. More CD.
All right. Yeah, we did DJ Moore, CD, and Addison. You put Osborne in there twice, but you had Addison the last time. So it's DJ Moore, Addison. CD, and Addison.
There you go. All right, guys, we're out. Game has started. Enjoy Thursday night. We'll see you on Saturday. Do this again. So if you still got questions, more questions, whatever you got, bring it. We'll see you on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. But check notifications. Keep them on so you know as soon as we go live. And, of course, it wouldn't be a live show unless somebody super chatted right when we're signing off. Curb Stomp.
Okay. All right.
Got a 10-team, 2 receiver, 2 flex, PPR league, 2 at JT, Eckler, Keenan, Kupp, Ingram, Ridley, Godwin. On the bench is Love, but why? Ford, Collins, Jonnu Smith, Aaron Jones. Okay. Let's drop Love and let's drop Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, drop those guys. Grab some stashes. I feel like this team is going to come around. I mean, you got Tua, you got Eckler finally coming back this week. You got Keenan, you got Kupp now. You got a solid tight end. Ridley should be good. I feel like this team, after this week, you're going to be 2-4. And then you're going to be rolling, honestly. You're going to be rolling.
Yeah,
for real.
Problem is there. You had 2 running backs who gave you nothing for 5 weeks. And now all of a sudden you got 2 of the top 5 running backs in the league. So JT and Eckler, Keenan and Cup. And Cup, you just had studs that weren't playing. That's it.
Exactly.
You're good.
You're good.
Even for a 10 team, you're good. But drop Love. You don't need him, even if he wasn't on bye. Drop Jonnu Smith. Hold Aaron Jones. Don't make any trades yet. Just pick up some high upside guys. Running back depth. Pick up some running backs. I guess I would say that. 10-team league, you should have some decent options. So check our waiver wire video. All right. And now we're out. We'll see you guys on the weekend.